part, what like you're gonna end up doing like I don't know, $500 to $1,000 your first month, especially garage sale flipping.
I would get a phone call the second we go live. I don't care. I don't know who you are. I need a checklist for this. All right, well, there we go. She can take the Soulless.
Those are the worst though. Those like phone calls that you just don't know if it's a good deal or not.
Hello. Not Dominic Quick.
This is not Dominic Quick.
All right, we're on the YouTubes now. So welcome to LA, bro.
Thank you, dude.
We've kind of talked a little bit about what you've been up to. I didn't get into your 7 for 7.
7-7-17.
The 7-7-17. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So what I did was for 7-7-17 is, for those of you that don't know, it's a project I'm in the works of right now. Everything that I'm filming, everything that I'm doing is basically being stored away for a Facebook Watch, real big marketing push that I'm going to be doing for myself and my personal brand. So 7-7-17 was 7 cities in 7 days at 17. I am 17 years old, for those of you that don't know.
Crazy. Fuck.
And it was definitely something that sparked in my mind that was like, I need to do this.
Yeah.
I'm hitting 7 cities over the next week, 7-7-17. It'd be freaking amazing to be able to like really focus on and nail, especially like the business meetings and stuff that I've like covered and recorded. And no one out there, like no one knows what's about to happen.
Yeah.
It's so like,
I know. I'm usually on that side of the camera. I'm the other side watching this stuff. Like, so it's pretty cool to have you here. Like I said before, welcome to LA. So the 7-7-17, you're doing business meetings, you're creating content in these different cities for this push that you're going to be doing on Facebook Watch. Gotcha.
Ding, ding, ding.
Is there a time that you got it set for that yet, or what? Are you just kind of?
I'm being very, very patient on how and when I want to start pushing. Statistically speaking, every time there's a market crash, there's a lot of people that will go into TV and YouTube. YouTube made a huge push back in '09, and during the Great Depression is when movies and TV shows started coming out.
Yep.
So if everyone that's online, all those financial experts and everything's right, there should be some kind of crash between the next 6 months and 2 years. And that's when I want to like take all the content I've curated over the past 6 months, 2 years.
Gotcha. That's interesting. So your take on getting into media is due to the, I guess that industry's boom during these recessions or depressions.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a huge market gap for it. There's going to be a huge, I mean, statistically speaking, this isn't just my gut feeling.
Yeah.
And I want to take full advantage of what you can do there.
That's really funny because when I was 17, I got into the club scene when I was 17 with a fake ID. And I did that because it was right before the big housing crash. Yeah. And I kind of saw where it was going. I'm not any sort of analyst or didn't like, it was a short thing. I wasn't betting on it coming, but just through history repeating itself, I kind of saw it. And I'm like, well, what is something that people always buy, whether they're happy, they're sad, they're celebrating, they're mourning? Oh, alcohol. So alcohol is up during recessions, depressions. I mean, everyone's drinking all the time. So for me, that was the reason why I got into an industry that is never going anywhere. People are going to continue to drink forever, right? So that's kind of cool. That's the reason why you're kind of doing this push in media.
Yeah. So what do you think of the club scene like right now as a market? Because like I said, I'm 17. I don't know shit about the club scene, but I'm very, very interested on how it got. Like, what are the ups and downs of the club scene?
Well, I mean, so it's definitely changing, and then the sound are always changing, right? So when I first started, we were doing like a lot of like the Lil Waynes and a lot of hip hop stuff, and then I kind of wanted to get into like the subculture of house music, which is now kind of lumped in with this whole EDM thing, and EDM's on its spiral down. The festivals don't show you that because these festivals are sold the fuck out with, Ultra and Coachella's not really EDM, but there's a festival every other weekend is what I'm trying to get at, EDC, So within that, you have the club scene, and the club scene, promoters are trying to bring in new talent, but the way it's kind of set now, they're trying to bring in new talent in the house or EDM or DJ world, and there's not really much of a market for that anymore. So if what's kind of cool because we're out of Florida, right?
Yeah.
You have the guys like Puya and the Playboy Cardis and people that are kind of in that subculture hip hop, which is now mainstream, right? So the people who are making money, like my boy, I met him a few years ago. We were doing shows with Dopey NT. They own Rolling Loud, right? And P. Diddy said Rolling Loud is the Woodstock of hip hop. Okay, so those guys are doing, I think they just did the Bay Area, they're doing LA, they're doing Miami, they're going overseas and doing Rolling Loud over there, and they're just crushing it. But I remember when they were doing all age shows because they couldn't get anyone 21 and up. But now those kids that were like 16, 17, they've been going to these shows for years. So you kind of got to make an investment early on in a genre before it's like the commercial. Like everyone, put it this way, all these rich kids that you know and I know from Florida, just their type, they're like, oh, my parents have money, I can throw a festival, get me Hardwell, Aoki, all these big names. And that's not how it works in the industry. So when an artist gets booked somewhere, say for you're bringing California artists out to Florida and they're playing shows of like the 200 to 500 capacity room. Yeah. When they make it big, they call the promoters that were booking them back in the day when they were nobody, that really believed in them. And they kind of have like, so there's like a family vibe in there as well. So you can't just say, hey, I got $100 million, let's throw a festival. You can, but that's how SFX went out of business, right? I mean, they bought up all the smaller guys. The same kind of model that Live Nation used. But as far as like on a club level, the club scene right now, I haven't been in it in over a year now. Yeah. But what I'm seeing is just a lot of the same, a lot of like DJs that kind of want to be like the Pauly D. They want to be, I mean, I guess the girls when I was growing up, I guess wanted to be like Paris Hilton, some of them. And a lot of these DJs are kind of doing it because they want to be like this popular. It's kind of like their input or their way into like an Instagram model for men, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. You know, like that comes out of ego as well, though.
It's a huge ego thing. And they're like, well, I think it's easy enough to DJ. I just need a laptop and some headphones. And like the biggest thing for me is I see these young guys coming in to DJ and they'd use a controller, right? Which is like an all-in-one console. It has like the mixer and then the controller running your software. And they'd plop this like $200 to $500 controller on top of $4,000 worth of CDJs and a mixer. And I'm like, dude, that's like driving a what's a piece of shit car now? I don't even know. I guess a Ford Pinto is like a really bad reference because it doesn't even exist anymore. Yeah. But say like a 1997 Kia Rio, okay, putting that on top of a Tesla, and driving in the Kia. It's like, dude, the Tesla's you know what I mean? Like they just don't know. So a lot of these kids want to like, you know, they wanted to get on reality TV. They want to become famous. They want to be kind of popular in like the club scene. So a lot of these clubs, they're not, I mean, it's kind of fallen off, I guess what I'm getting at. The club scene, I saw an intro into it when I was a kid, and I was making a lot of money at 17. Yeah. I was getting paid, even when I was getting paid $3 to $5 per person, my guest lists were like 200 to 300 deep, that arrived. So I was making good money. And then, long story short, a buddy of mine got drunk. He was a DJ. I had a cover for him, and I fell in love with DJing. I'm like, this is where I wanted to be. Like, it was I tried to play every instrument under the sun, dude, and I was just horrible. So then I got on 2 turntables, and I'm like, oh shit, I can do other people's music, and my talent is kind of controlling a dance floor full of strangers. That because a DJ can make or break your night. You've all walked in, you haven't yet, but people have walked into a bar or an event and it's like, oh, this music's whack, let's go somewhere else. So like, there's a lot on your shoulders as the DJ or the entertainment at a venue. It could be a band, it could be anybody, a comedian. If the comedian's shitty, they're gonna go to somewhere else. So, you are the entertainment for the night. But as far as actual clubs go, I don't know, man. I've been kind of staying out of those and focusing on like the smaller subcultures. Because for me, that's where it's kind of cool, like seeing these extensions and these Post Malones, guys like Tekashi 6ix9ine. You're a marketing guy. That dude is killing it.
Oh yeah.
Killing it.
He really, really gets the viralization part of it as well.
Yeah.
Did you see what he did? He partnered with 50 Cent. Like
right.
That was oh my goodness. Even 50 was like, yo, I gotta get this guy over here.
But 50 knows. Like 50 knows how the internet works.
Yeah, and the big thing that I don't think a lot of people know about this is that if you market yourself and you have a lot of bad reputation or something bad happens, right? That's really, 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 really easy to get out of. So Tekashi doing all this dumb shit to like get viralization and get like more followers and get people to more know about him. As soon as he puts out a good song or he puts out something good, that's what people are going to be gravitating and focusing towards.
For
And
sure.
he understands that. Like, remember the whole Pepsi thing when exactly.
Which one? With him?
Exactly. No. Pepsi in general, when they put out the advertisement that everyone just started roasting them for, right? No one remembers that.
Of course. And today there's always something to bitch about. Like every day on Facebook, I can't even go on it anymore. Every day on Facebook, something new is offensive. Something new is this. It's like, dude, well, can we just go back to like MySpace maybe before everyone got so fucking butthurt about everything? But no, you're absolutely right. And Tekashi, not for nothing, we might not think it's great music. I mean, I love the beats. I think that too in the hip hop world, like Metro Boomin has more tracks than any hip hop artist on the top, Billboard 100. Like he is producing, his sound is what is driving hip hop right now. Yeah. At least it was when I was really, following that. But with Tekashi, he's still 10 for 10 on Billboard. 10 releases, all 10 on Billboard Top 100. Mm-hmm. That's fucking insane. And so when he puts out a good song and gets on a Drake album, it's just going to be like, okay, cool. Now my mom's listening to 6ix9ine. And it's like...
It was so crazy when I put all the pieces together of what exactly he's doing. He's doing dumb shit to get himself marketing up and like people talk about him and know about him. And then he puts out something good and everyone knows it. Everyone's watching everyone. Like, right. It's crazy to me because it's such an odd style of marketing and such an odd style for him, for anyone to really push themselves in.
He's like the villain
that
now.
Algorithm.
Everyone's trying to be the hero. He's like, fuck that. I'm the villain. Like this is what I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right though, and with him, it's really funny because behind the scenes, I think that the PR stunts that he does and like the people that he affiliates with himself, they all kind of know, like they're kind of navigating his career for him, and it's like Eminem, or when I was growing up, our 6ix9ine would have probably been like, or even our rap in general, like our Post Malones of the era would have been 3 6 Mafia, and then 20 years later, Juicy J is like with Drake and whatever, and all the rest of 3 6 Mafia aren't really doing anything, but everyone knows Juicy J now. And when I was a kid, they're like, oh, that's gang music, that's violent music, and now my mom's like, oh, bands make her dance. And I was like, yo, what? My mom's singing Juicy? She used to like break my CDs when I came home with like Juvenile or any of that kind of shit. But it's kind of funny to see like one person out of a camp, but he doesn't have a camp. He's doing like Chance the Rapper. He's just fucking, it's Tekashi. That's it. Yeah. There's no label pushing him. And
you're right with everyone that's like next to him trying to like, market that in that kind of way. When 50 gave him the chain that had an asthma inhaler on it.
Oh, no shit. Yeah. I missed that part.
No, he gave him a chain with an asthma inhaler because even 50 knows like, okay, this is a meme. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can make it work.
No shit. 50's a G. He knows how to market himself as well.
He's also a very scary man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I wouldn't fuck with 50.
No, if you look at the shit like that he's done, when someone's like fucked with him.
Yeah.
He's a real gangster.
He's got cred. He's got street cred for sure. For sure. That's like another aspect too that Tekashi's kind of bringing back into hip hop. But it's dangerous because a lot of these guys, like Extension, right? He just got shot in Broward, murdered. Yeah. And it's not, and they're trying to put the murder on these groups of people like, oh, he's had enemies here and there. But at the end of the day, like everyone doesn't understand. They're like, oh, Florida ain't shit. It's New York. It's Compton. No, motherfucker. Go down to Lake Worth, man. Like, it's the same shit. And it doesn't matter if the kids are white, black, Hispanic, fucking whatever. Like, if you live in that neighborhood, you've seen some shit. You know what I mean? Like, you've seen it. And like, you can't go 10 feet without seeing a hooker or someone shooting up. Like, there's serious problems in Florida, which is, Florida's like Trick Daddy is one of my favorite artists, right? He said he went to New York and was like, you're going to fucking respect me. Because no one was at the time. Like, oh, Miami ain't shit. Miami's nothing. Like, the Cubans and Colombians ran that shit for the Coke days. But as of right now, you're nobody. And it's kind of like where it was the East Coast versus West Coast drama. No one believed in the Florida hip-hop scene. And now these guys, like, Trick Daddy tried. He did his thing. Like, he's famous in Florida. He's probably famous nationwide. But as far as what... like I said, the Playboy Cardis and the Puyas, what those guys are doing, and they're putting Florida on the map with like what everyone calls quote unquote mumble rap. It's like, hey motherfucker, they're selling records and you're not. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can be an old man. You could do like and I'm not hating on Eminem because I love Eminem. Eminem was like my shit in middle school, and to this day I still rock. I'll listen to it. But when he starts hating on younger guys or like the MGK drama, once again, it's all just industry drama that's boosting ticket sales, or marketing. It's all marketing. So people, what I'm getting at though is the people that are followers of these artists that would do anything for them. In their minds, they're like, they'll pull that trigger even though they're not told to do it. Like, people get fucking crazy for like their idols, you know what I mean? Like, they just do stupid things all the time, and they're eating Xanax out of South Florida and then see some guy in a Lambo with a bag of cash next to him.
You know what really pissed me off is that one rapper who got famous for calling himself a clone.
Which one was that?
I don't remember his name. To be honest, I couldn't have cared less.
yeah.
But
he's making millions. Just like, how did you do that?
No, yeah, it's not the fact he's making money. He's famous because he called himself a clone, and now he's got all these people who look up to him, believing that clones fucking exist. And I'm like, this is how the flat Earth shit started. You dumbass.
Yeah, dude, I know. Oh my god,
Dude, you're from California.
Yeah,
like, there are real people out there that genuinely, like, here especially, this is like flat Earth land.
Yeah, I met a few, and I'm like, and just me being me, I'm kind of like, all right, just tell me more about this flat Earth, and these ice walls, and how we're floating. Just it's insane, but to each their own. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, why would someone be hiding the Earth is flat from us? So that's my standpoint.
Well, no. Back to that main stand. Like, it's that these people, they have this influence over so many audience, and you have these people who look up to you and believe what you say.
Yeah.
And to get more marketing and to get more views and to get more followers and to get that news outlet, you're willing to straight up lie to them for some bullshit.
Yeah, it's very culty. Yeah, it's very cult-like.
It's very fucked up, to be honest.
And who's
shout out to our president.
Who's believing this? I mean, like, who? And me and you can look at it like, what did you like? Why are you believing this hype, or how do you even get involved with these people who believe this crazy shit? But they do. I mean, it happens in music, it happens in religion, it happens in politics, it happens all over across the board, man. Like this cult-esque following of people. Like, I mean, look at you know anything about the Deadheads, the Grateful Dead, the band?
No.
I did one of their concerts at Dodger Stadium. Like, I'm at Dodger Stadium for a Grateful Dead concert, and John Mayer's like just jamming out. But those people have been following the Grateful Dead for like decades, right? Like decades. They're full blown. So a lot of these bands and musicians are trying to get out there and reach the million mark, right? Oh, I got 1 million views, 1 million streams, whatever. But at the end of the day, if you have something good, you can have like 10, 15, 20,000 followers and sell merch to them forever. You can sell them shit. You're not going to be a millionaire, but at least you're getting paid to do what you love to do.
Do you know what's it called? The 1,000 true fan rule?
Mm-mm.
Here's what I was taught like years ago, is if you get 1,000 people who absolutely love you, and for the record, everyone that's watching my stuff, everyone that's on Instagram Live, and everyone that wants to check me out, I will never do this because I never want to sell to my fans. But if you're making a personal brand, or you're a rapper, or you're in the music industry and you have people that look up to you and follow you, this is a beautiful business tactic that a lot of people do use. If you have 1,000 fans, right, who will love you and buy your stuff, it doesn't matter how many other fans, you have 25,000 followers, but 1,000 people that absolutely love you, you could sell merch to them, a t-shirt, for example, for $25, 4 times a year, have a 6-figure business.
Yeah.
Quarterly.
Makes sense.
1,000 people is all you need to have a 6-figure business. Like, that's insane.
You need to tell that to all these girls out there with millions of followers on Instagram that ain't getting paid for shit.
I'm so pissed off at most of the influencers.
Oh my God, I hate them. Like, I don't hate them, but I look at them like, okay, what are you doing? You got 65,000 followers. Like, what are you doing?
Did you see Whoa Vicky made a dropshipping account?
Oh my God.
I don't like her, but I respect the fuck
I respect
out of
it, dude.
That's a shitload of money that's
can't
coming
hate
for
that
her right now.
I can't hate that. Whoa, Vicky. And they're all out of fucking... She had Florida too?
Yeah, I think so.
Her Catch Me Outside. Florida's popping right now, bro. Florida for dumb shit is popping right now. I love it. I fucking love it.
We love it, but then we get pissed off.
I know.
A dude eats another man's face over there.
I mean, bath salts, bro. Do you know why they call them bath salts, though?
Bath salts?
Bath salts. Yeah, that drug.
You're supposed to like use it in your bathtub, aren't you?
No. So Florida has like these gray area drugs. And I probably shouldn't be putting this shit out there because I'll get popped. But whatever, fuck it. But Florida has these gray area drugs. Like spice was one of them.
Yeah.
And you could buy this spice, not for human consumption. It was like fucking synthetic weed, they said, but you trip and like hallucinate on that shit, and it's crazy. But so bath salts was like a derivative or like a couple molecules off from like meth alone, methadone, different drugs that were supposed to like mimic what MDMA did to you, but they didn't. They were like more like methy, kind of like speedy type drugs. Yeah. But they got them approved and passed through Florida, and then they were put into like head shops and grocery stores. So like spice was sold as incense, not for human consumption, these crystals of like meth basically were sold as bath salts in head shops. So yeah, so like, how hard is it to find bath salts? It's like, I mean, go to Bed Bath Salts and Beyond. You know what I mean? Go to any corner store that sells like some crazy shit, like drug testing, clean piss shit, and you'll find this crazy legal drugs, legal highs.
Yeah, now we're getting to like the
Florida,
the legalities of it's very interesting what you could do when like the business aspect of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it's like you got Catch Me Outside chick, on Dr. Phil, and then you got the bath salt Miami fucking zombie, and it's like
that is Florida for you, man.
And then you tell these rappers they ain't got no street cred. It's like, yeah, they fucking do, man. It's hard out there, and then it's fucking hard. It's definitely hard. But anyways, back to you. So you're into this. You're into creating the media. You got a deal working with Facebook right now for the watch. I know they're trying to boost that platform for themselves as well.
They really are, and what I understand is from the people I've reached out to and spoken to that are known in the platform. One of my mentors has like 2 million followers on YouTube right now, subscribers. Sorry.
Right on.
And
subscribers, hell yeah.
Yeah, he's got 2 million subscribers on YouTube, and he's got his like Instagram following, and he runs like a YouTube kind of empire. So he has a lot of people that are underneath him that aren't as big, but he teaches them and mentors them and that kind of deal. And he was actually one of the first ones to do MOC, but I'm getting off topic. Those people had spoken to me about how YouTube's, statistically speaking, is about to take a dive, and Facebook's all about trying to capitalize on that.
Right.
So what I was told is, if you're trying to get into the YouTube space, if you're trying to get into the video space, you need to go on Facebook Watch. If you can make the same content on YouTube and put it on Facebook, that's perfectly fine. But you have to push Facebook Watch, because there's a huge gap right now. There's going to be a lot of Facebook Watch influencers that are going to be popping out in that area. And YouTube, it might take a hit, it might stay the same. Whatever the deal is, it's very hard to pop on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
Because of that.
So with Facebook Watch, it's different from Facebook Live. Facebook Watch is more of so Facebook Live is more for the everyday user to kind of pop in there. But people have kind of learned how to monetize that and use that to direct traffic somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean,
what's different about Watch than Live? Is what I'm
Watch is basically the YouTube of Facebook. So you
Okay.
go in there and you can watch like full blown videos. Like, how they're pushing IGTV on Instagram?
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's on Facebook.
Gotcha.
And when you have a quarter of the world on Facebook.
Oh, I know.
And the thing is, you can also put advertising on Facebook and market it in such a way that YouTube straight up can't do that.
Of course.
So when I put out videos on
and you
Facebook,
guys don't get the insights as well.
Yeah. So when I was talking to Facebook, and I made it a really, really big deal, I was like, look, if I'm going to be doing this deal with you, I'm going to be putting out consistent content on Facebook Watch. I want to make sure that whatever we push, whatever marketing is happening, I'm in charge of the niche that I'm attacking.
Gotcha.
And I want to figure out, and now I have like a Facebook ad worth that I'm allowed to do. And I'm in charge of my own marketing on the Facebook Watch aspect.
Gotcha.
Which is amazing because it's Facebook. Like, you can get anything you could possibly think of in someone's mind. How much money they make is on Facebook. You can straight up target people that are making 20 to 30K a year.
Yeah. No, I know. You can target down pretty fucking exact on Facebook, and then with lookalike audiences, you can just once you get your first 1K, 2K, you're in the money. For sure. And
Yeah.
people don't understand that. I look at them like, man, we sell, I don't know, this certain fragrance. And it's always, I'm like, do you do any sort of insight? Do you have any idea? No. I'm like, dude, you're literally sitting on a multi-million-dollar business and you're just, I'm just home. I'm word of mouth. I'm like,
my favorite is real estate agents.
Okay.
They
got blocked on YouTube not YouTube, on Google SEO. It was getting really hard to rank. For a minute there, they were doing something with the algorithm and something to do with the Google My Business pages. People were setting up the page for the realtor.
Was this local? Oh, okay.
It was local, yeah, the map pack. They did something weird with realtors. They wanted more money out of it. But anyway, what were you saying?
Facebook advertising for real estate agents. Like, that is some amazing, beautiful shit. Because you can target people that are looking to buy, that are looking to sell. You can straight up target the area that you're in and where, like,
zip codes, right?
Zip codes. You can target all of that shit, and then how much money they're willing to spend, and if they're an engaged shopper.
Yeah.
It's amazing
how active they are in the market and looking and all that.
Yeah. The day I turn 18 this month. The day I turn 18, I'm going to go out and get my real estate license.
Are you?
Because it's just, I know.
You should in Florida. I mean, that's a side hustle. Every Floridian should have that side
There's
hustle.
more real estate agents in Florida than there is any other job combined.
Yeah.
Not combined. I think there's more real estate agents in Florida than there are the top two underneath that combined.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, but I know the whole funnel behind it. I know how to target it with Facebook. And no other real estate agents doing that.
Right.
None of them know what the fuck they're doing. So I'm like, I'm ready to like kill it.
So, right. So there's money to be made as a business and someone who is actually using Facebook Watch as an advertiser. Yeah. But what about the average person who wants to create content like, the mom and pop or the dad videos where they're cutting stuff up in half on YouTube, or the Casey Neistats? For people like that, is there money to be made? And what's like the monetization like? Are they going to be selling ad space on your videos, or do you know any of that stuff yet?
Yeah. What do you mean? Are you asking for me in specific, or are you asking for the audience?
Just so instead of like I'm a business or a realtor marketing and using ads to push towards people that are in my target, what about just the regular person who wants to make cool videos, put them online, and get viewership? I
got this. So yesterday I put it on my Instagram story. There's a lot of people out there that are popped off, right? They got a lot of followers, but their engagement's really low.
Yeah.
Right. And this could be because they bought the followers. This could be because they marketed themselves too early, and or they're in an engagement group, so it's bullshit.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know, engagement groups are where a bunch of people with a certain amount of followers get together, like and comment on each other's stuff. So if you want to figure out if someone's real or not, you check their following. It's got like 25K, right? And then you go into their recent post and you look and you see single comments that have no tags. So if there's a bunch of businesses that are like, awesome, this is amazing, great
thumbs
post.
up emoji.
Yeah, thumbs up emoji. That's usually because they're in an engagement group.
Yeah.
So, if you market yourself too early and you have a lot of followers, that's there's no way to really come up from that because Facebook's algorithm kills you. You can't reach the organic reach if you buy followers or you put yourself in an engagement group. Facebook will change your account. Instagram will change your account. Now, if you're trying to come up and you're trying to monetize the other way, if you make good, consistent content, right, and then you organically market yourself through podcasts, through collaborations, but my favorite cheesy way right now is if you buy Instagram ads, Instagram story ads. It's a very, very cheap way.
Yeah.
And it's very, 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 very convertible. So right now I'm running Instagram story ads and I'm having people just swipe up, check me out, whatever the recent video is, and I'm just testing, what's working in the travel niche, because you could target that.
Right.
What's working in the entrepreneur niche, because you could target that. And with the consistent content that I'm going to be putting out with the Facebook Watch, and then on top of that marketing that's going to come along with it, you're putting out consistent content and you're getting a lot of people to see it.
Of course.
And that's a recipe for
spend your money to drive traffic instead of buy fake followers. Because so when I was big into DJs are the worst for this shit. They think that 50K followers on Instagram is going to get them booked more, and it doesn't. It doesn't at all, because you have to have an actual following in real life, but people who come to the bars that you're DJing at, not some people that are fake.
You gotta follow it up too.
Dude.
Yo, I'm gonna be able to bring like 20 people.
100%. Like it was all incentive based when I started. It was like per person deals, and I'm like, all right, I'll bring 100 people. But then I'm like, hold up. If the average, then I got into management of nightclubs, and I was like, well, if the average person is $22.50, they're paying me $3 a person. I'm making zero. Like I'm making like a percent of what they're making off the same person. So, but I see a lot of DJs doing this, and then I was kind of mad when Facebook. It was all about build your page. Then I built my page and my following on Facebook pages. It was fan pages before. And they go, oh, okay, now you got to pay for it. Now you got to pay for your following that you took a year. But at first I was kind of taken back, like, fuck you. Like, what do you mean? I got 10,000 people to hit like, and now I have to pay to have all of them see my ads or see my posts. Yeah,
for those of the people that don't know, dive into that a little bit, because that was like right after my time.
Yeah. So yeah, we built up, and I was like, and this I was still using email campaigns. So if you downloaded my mixtape, I get your email log sign or just on my email list. I blast out a monthly mix, a weekly mix, plus club flyers, and then promo codes. And the promo codes will get you on a guest list with my affiliate link on it. So I was getting paid per person that showed up to the club. So it started with that, and then all of a sudden, I was doing really well. I was getting great engagement. And then all of a sudden, Facebook's like, okay, no more. We're not going to show all of your followers your posts. You have to pay. So you get like, we'll show it to, if you have, I think 9,000 something at the time. And they're like, we're going to show it to the first 200 people for free. And then if you want more engagement and more viewership, you have to pay for that service. And at first I was like, fuck you. Like, it took me, you know how hard it was to get all these people to like my shit and to like hustle that, hit the like button. It was like everyone on YouTube now, like, subscribe, all that shit. But it was for liking of a page. And people weren't down to do that because they knew they were going to get a bunch of club events. So they had to really follow your shit or really like your music or like the events that you were throwing in order for them to even hit that like button in the first place. And then they monetized it. So that's when I remember I just saw the fucking post. It was like 8 years ago. I posted like, man, what the fuck? I took a screenshot of it and I was like, what the fuck, Facebook? Now I got to pay for my followers to see this shit. But then I learned how to utilize that, and I'm like, damn, that's a strength, because now I can I can target not only my fans but other people who are similar to me as fans, and that's when I really dove into Facebook ads and marketing. So it was a blessing in disguise that it made me research it more, where a lot of guys will just give up and buy fake followers. Now here's the other half of that. When you're paying for your following to see your ads or your content, even if it's just a sponsored post, and 90% of your following is fake, you're paying for fake followers to see that ad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but on Instagram, that's totally different because you don't have to pay for people to see your stuff
right
on that platform.
There's no like boost your post on Instagram, right?
There's a boost your post, but just because I boost my post doesn't mean my followers are going to be seeing
right.
it more.
It's separated.
Yeah, it's totally different. Because you boost your post, it's the same thing as doing an advertisement. So when you boost your post, you can directly target like a zip code or an age group and that kind of deal.
So where that was different from Facebook back in the day was that we were just boosting it to our following.
Yeah, that's retarded.
Yeah, I know. It's like, well, at least let me open this up. And then at the time too, they didn't even have analytics like, okay, you're following is 18 to 23-year-old chicks that live here. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't even let us see that shit. Yeah. So we're just throwing ads out like, where is this going? So it's gotten a lot better over the years. And now, everything is marketing, and that kind of took me from the word of mouth, the text. I had my fucking T-Mobile sidekick. I was just texting, come to the club. And then it all went online, and it was email lists, and it just got way more just streamlined. It was just like, okay.
What do you use for your email list right now?
I haven't blasted an email in a while, but I was on MailChimp for a long time.
MailChimp?
Yeah.
That's what I'm on right now. I was doing Aweber when I first started.
Okay.
So
I've been on MailChimp. It's going to sound bad, but probably for like 12 or 13 years. And my first email list was on that.
It's an amazing platform.
I have 400,000. I have an email list of 400,000 people.
Yeah, I sold mine.
Did you?
But yeah, it was over like 900,000.
So they used to all be like 18 to 22, and now they're all like 30. They're probably 27 to 40 right now. Mm-hmm. And I want to get rid of that list, but at the same time, a lot of them were like .edus that no one's using those anymore.
Yeah.
Like when I was getting those lists, it was when Facebook just went over from a closed to college kids only with the .edu email address to open it up. That wasn't even around when you were around. You were like 5.
Yeah.
So when Facebook first came out, you had to have an .edu.
I know what you're talking about.
And then they opened up to the fucking masses and kind of ruined it. But yeah, at the time people were signing up for email lists, it was all .edu. So those kids don't have access to those anymore. So my email list is basically worthless at this point.
.edus are extremely valuable personally though.
Yeah.
You can get a lot of like deals and that kind of deal when you have a .edu.
Right.
Especially as like a traveler, this is going back to like a travel niche. But, if you sign up for certain things, you have to be a student.
Oh, yeah.
I bought out DominicUniversity.edu so I can use my own email address.
Oh, yeah. Even for rankings, for ranking purposes, you can get a .gov too, which is pretty fucking scary that you can just buy a .gov.
People are so stupid.
It is. But then people see the .org and they automatically think, oh, but this must be like an institution like that's a reputable because it's got a .org. It's like you could buy gofuckyourself.org.com right now, and you know what I mean? Like, oh my god.
GoDaddy uses that when I was buying DominicUniversity.edu. They offered me DominicUniversity.org.
Yeah,
because,
of course.
And they were like, statistically speaking, 60% of people trust .org's better.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty fucked up statistic.
Yes.
They
don't do any and that's another thing. They just don't research it. They see one fucking thing. People get their news from memes these days. Like, bro, can you stop? And I just sit here and look at it. I'm like, I can't knock it because I love the internet. The internet has been amazing to me. I wouldn't have been the DJ or club promoter or in the business that I'm in now. I wouldn't be doing any of this stuff without the internet. But I don't want anyone to regulate it. I just want people to get smarter so like they're not falling for this stupid snake oil shit. Like,
Yeah, like, if you're a rapper, you're a clone.
How long? Yeah, right. How long ago though was SoundCloud? SoundCloud went under, right, and they sold.
Yeah, sadly, I'm so pissed about that because I'm like the last guy on SoundCloud.
Right,
I still listen to SoundCloud.
Yeah, I mean, I find myself on there like when my buddies that are rapping or DJing or whatever.
Yeah, I was so pissed when I started putting out my own podcast on SoundCloud as it was dying.
Yeah.
So like,
so my thing with the podcast, I'm using YouTube right now, and then I'm recording obviously all the audio on the other computer. But they're like, oh yeah, hosted on SoundCloud, hosted on Podbean, all this shit. And I'm like, no, I'm going to buy my server. I'm going to fucking host my own audio files. I'm going to get it push linked to Google Podcast now is a pretty big app. And then as well as iTunes, obviously, is the largest. I'm going to post it out there. And then no one's monetizing shit on my channel and my content but me.
Yeah.
No one's putting an ad 15 minutes in there, 30 minutes in there, and giving me 60 or 40% of whatever they get paid for that. No one's doing that. And the best way to do it so you don't piss off sponsors is to completely own it. Now, obviously with video, you can't do that because you need a lot of Amazon servers in order to start like broadcasting your own video.
Yeah.
So it's a little different with YouTube and the rules and stuff you got to follow there to stay green lit in their eyes. But on the podcast, that's the beauty of it is you can push. There's no like central hub for it other than where you're pushing it to. And iTunes, as of right now, it's pretty easy to get listed, and to get on iTunes podcast, and as well as the Google one. But what I see when you're talking about advertising too, just to kind of circle that in with podcasts, is there's no iTunes and Google. You can subscribe to someone's podcast, it automatically downloads it to their phone. But the apps aren't tracking minutes listened.
Okay.
They're not tracking that. So when you go to, which is kind of good for someone like me or you in the podcast industry, because it's like, we don't know what your airtime's like, how many minutes listened to, how far into their 3-hour podcast they get. They don't have any of those statistics at all, or analytics.
Yeah, as an advertiser, that might be a pretty
there's people out there saying, oh, I got 5,000 downloads a week or 5,000 downloads on my monthly podcast or whatever it is. It's like, yeah, but did you pay for those downloads? You know what I mean? Like, it's still sketchy in the world of podcasts.
I mean, as an advertiser, because like I'm definitely more a part, like I advertise to Instagram influencers and podcasts, and I was doing SoundCloud for the longest time, which worked, and then like Snapchat and that kind of deal. So I'm definitely on that side of the spectrum way more than I am, influencer wise.
Right.
Because I connect with the influencers, they'll be able to put up my product and my service and blah, 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 blah. Or client based as well. All my clients from like Quick Media Management, like I'll go out and I'll find Instagram influencers in the area.
That's your shit, is Quick Media Management?
Yeah.
That's my shit. That's your shit. Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, as an advertiser, I haven't touched iTunes or Google Podcasts. Or I don't know. It's not like if I would.
It's long game for sure.
Yeah, if
it's
I
more
was
long
to
game
advertise on it though, it'd be like, in an event that's happening, like that would be something good for advertise. But if you're advertising like, buy my mug,
yeah, no
one's gonna fuck.
Everyone's selling mugs too. Damn it, I don't know. I gotta figure out who the guy who does this Shopify. It's not Gary Vee. It's some Shopify asshole. It's like the Ty Lopez of Shopify. And then Ty Lopez, dude, when he starts pushing Bitcoin and all this other bullshit, I'm like, dude, you're a moron. It's been debunked that you don't own that house. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like your whole.
Let's please get into this.
Can we talk shit about Ty?
Oh, all day.
Fuck yes. I've been waiting for someone who knows anything about it.
Dude, he makes, this is the moment because I've always been like, fuck this guy. But the moment I was like, he's full of shit is when everyone knows he makes $3 million a year, which is fucking amazing. Good for him. He put out a course that says how to make $100,000 a day. If you do that math, that's way more than $3 million a year.
Yeah.
You are selling courses that your only way of making money is to tell other people to make money. And shout out to Casey Adams. I have a fucking bone to pick with that guy because his only way he makes money is by telling other people how to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's just how history, dude. It's like
I was so pissed because I actively talk with genuine people. Like Hayden Bowles was a good friend of mine, and then I really looked up like Thaddy and that kind of like Shopify group.
Yeah.
That actually do shit and then sell courses about like, hey, I really did this. Check this out.
Right.
And then there's those assholes that are like, yeah, I didn't really do this, but if you want to know how to make money.
Or I understand how it works, but I've never done it for myself.
I was so pissed because I looked at Casey Adams when he was first coming up and he was selling fucking bracelets the same time I was.
Yeah.
Shout out to Live Bracelets. And that's all he did. That was it. All he sold was fucking bracelets. And then he started coming out with these like, hey, buy $500 for my consulting session.
Dude, I hate the guys that, what can I grab here? Okay, this flashlight. Like, dude, through my methods, you can buy this flashlight from China for 36 cents. Put this in an Amazon fulfillment center or a Shopify store or whatever and make $1 million in your first month. It's just like, bro, what?
For all of you that don't know what we're talking about, is there's a shitload of people that are online right now, especially in the Shopify and Amazon world, that are selling courses about how to drop ship, which is selling stuff from China on the internet for a high market price, and Amazon. And there's a shitload of people that are doing it that have never sold an item successfully, that are just trying to tell you how to sell the item so they can sell their course.
And then they show you a long list of their conversion rates and their conversions from click-through rate and everything else. And it's not them actually selling a physical product. It's them selling you the course that you just bought. Like, hey, look, it works. I just sold you this book of how I do things that I do, but they're not actually selling a product. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, and you know how easy it is to Photoshop a fucking Shopify and like.
Dude, oh my god, I know. We just photoshopped this. Doesn't it look great, people?
Like, oh my goodness.
What about? Do you know? Not to cut you off. Do you know? Genius Marketing, Billy Jean.
I'm sure if you showed me a picture of him.
Okay. I don't know much about him, but I've been following him for a while. But he actually uses case studies with actual businesses, but his course is through the roof now. It was like $5.99 when I first started getting ads. And I don't know about you, but every time I see someone advertising a book or a course, I sign up for it just to see what their funnel is like. I want to see that funnel. And then sure enough, I tell people all the time, if you know how funnels work, I've saved a lot of money. So like even Amazon's really good at this. I knew I wanted to buy a Kindle, and it had a Black Friday deal for like $59, and it was back up to $129. And I know Amazon's got their things going on, so I looked at it like every day for like the first week, and then once a week I followed up looking at it again. And all of a sudden, that fourth week, it was down to $59 again. I'm like, oh look, there you go. So if you know you're gonna get ads or discounts, like the $10,000 Tide course comes down and it drops quickly to like $2K within a month. This is steal your money.
Yeah, but there's so many ways you could pirate the shit out of that. I'm not saying saying pirate it, right?
Yeah.
But
dude, you know what's
I'm
fucking
also
hilarious?
not saying
Everyone's
pay for it.
so my whole sleeve is fucking pirate shit. It says sailing is certain, living is not. And they're like, oh, well, you think you're a pirate on a boat? I'm like, not internet pirate. But you know, I don't know. Yeah, don't pirate shit. Buy it if you like it. Or I don't want to get kicked off
I'm
YouTube.
not saying buy it, but I'm not saying pirate
Just go use it somewhere for free if you like it, and you can, you know. But then again, I see kids that want to start music production. They buy like, you know, their mom buys them a $2,000 Ableton or like some DJ setup shit, and they just don't use it ever again. So if you're gonna be one of those guys, try before you buy. But don't go out there and buy a course from some asshole who's promoting he makes $100,000 a day, and he. Why are people so gullible about this shit, though?
You know what I heard? My mentor went to Ty's house like years ago. And
oh, tell me about this.
Yeah, he went to Ty's house to meet Ty Lopez. This is when it was coming up on YouTube.
Yep.
He had already made it on YouTube. This was like years ago. And I think Ty was trying to meet with him about some kind of YouTube deal or whatever. And he went to Ty's house, and he had a meeting at like 3 o'clock, right? And he sat there for 30 minutes. And he's like, all right, I got to go. This is wasting my time. And as he was walking out the door, Ty Lopez came down the stairs and met him, right? At the time, he didn't know this, but a few weeks later, he spoke with someone, and apparently, I don't know if he still does this now, but years ago, he used to use it as like an alpha trait, just to wait until the person would walk out the door and come downstairs and introduce. Like, how much of a fucking ego do you have to have?
There's books on that, bro. There's books on the sale, and just like that.
Yeah, he reads books and then applies it. But you know what I'd be? I say, fuck you, I'm out the door.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why. So Grant Cardone's like, hey, man, here's a book on how I 10X. Here's a book on how I sell shit. And it's no psychological bullshit. There's no alpha bullshit. It's like, this is how you fucking sell a product that you believe in. Don't use this this won't work if you're selling some bullshit you don't believe in. You know it's snake oil, whatever. But yeah, I could see Ty like reading the 48 Laws of Power and is like, oh yes, I have to mastermind everybody. Shut the fuck up. I hate that
My
mother.
favorite.
Are his glasses real? Do you think they're real?
I don't know.
I don't think they're fucking real,
glasses?
man.
I haven't seen
I think
them.
he wears glasses for clout. I swear to God, bro. I think he's got perfect vision, and he just uses that shit to look smarter because people buy into that shit.
Maybe. I know I did jujitsu for 9 years.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, and he started jujitsu a long time ago. And my favorite, when he got his blue belt and I was watching him roll and like fight, for those of you that do BJJ, that's what we call it.
Yeah.
Rolling.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah. When I was watching him roll as a blue belt, I was like, you shouldn't have a blue belt. Like you shouldn't, I beat the shit out of you. There's no way you should have that belt.
What's he now?
God knows, but
He probably doesn't do it anymore.
if anyone is watching this and wants to hook me up with a roll with Ty Lopez, I'm so down.
Yo, we could. Oh, how can we make money off this?
I'm so down. All day long, I will roll with Ty Lopez. I mean, he might beat the shit out of me now because it's been a few years, but
I doubt it. He's too busy making dumbass Facebook ads. Oh, here in my garage. Look, my Lamborghini. I'm surrounded by people making like Lamborghini. I fucking hate that guy.
I don't like him, but I do have to respect him for the fact he did start the MOC like online course.
Yeah.
Roll. And as bullshit as the MOC courses are, like it was gonna come eventually. Like, someone had to make it.
I guess, but still, just him as a person, I look at. I don't. I don't know. Maybe it's like one of those hate us because you ain't us things. But I just don't. I feel like he's taking a lot of hard-earned money and selling bullshit. Like his course, I don't think he's got any real testimonials or case studies of people who took his course that are using their knowledge to make money.
I think there are people who have done it, and he hasn't.
Yeah, yeah. So hang on, you rolling? You fucking do BJJ?
Yeah.
Do you still do it?
I'm actually looking for a place right now. I was out in LA. I want to go to AOJ one of these days, like in Huntington.
Yeah.
Like 100%, because I've always wanted to like roll with some Mendes brothers and.
Fuck yeah, man. That's serious out here. BJJ, there's a bunch of places to go, and you got Joe Rogan out here with all his homies, and you listen to Joe Rogan, obviously, right?
I mean, not all the time, but yeah.
But yeah, everyone kind of pops in there occasionally. He's always talking about guys that are just like real experts in that space. And I've never rolled, man, and I wanted to start, but my roommate was like, you got a serious I have an ankle injury that I'm still like recuperating. He's like, don't fucking do it, bro. They'll rip your shit off. Do it.
No. Jiu-jitsu is super, super safe. As like crazy as it seems, like jiu-jitsu in itself, when you roll with people that know what they're doing,
yeah,
it's super safe. Most injuries in jiu-jitsu happen between white belts because they have no idea what they're doing. But when you get in and you're learning and you're drilling, it's incredibly safe. Like the most injury I've ever had is when you're rolling and someone like accidentally knees you in the shoulder. Like if someone has an armbar on you and you tap out, that's it. That's the end of the game. No one's gonna like rip your shit off.
I got a torn ligament though, so I don't want to make sure that doesn't get like fully.
But they can't hurt anything past your below your waist until you're a blue belt, which is like 2-3 years in anyway.
Oh no shit!
So you can literally do 2-3 years, and they legally in jiu-jitsu rules can't touch your torn ligament.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do I know about BJJ? What about there's guys that are about grabbing the gi and using that as a part of it?
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. I love it.
So you're pro that. You're pro gi. Okay.
I love using a gi.
Yeah.
Shout out to Marcelo Cohen.
Marcelo's my fucking homie, bro.
Really? My BJJ instructor?
That's your instructor? Shut the fuck up. For real?
Really?
Yeah, dude I've known Marcelo for a minute.
Oh my
god.
gosh.
For a minute, dude. Yeah.
Hey, he's the one that like taught me like since I was in 4th grade,
Yeah, I saw him he was at that same night. Last time I saw him was at the hotel. He showed up with a fucking shiner.
Probably.
On New Year's. He was there. I'm like, what up, bro? He's like, still fighting, man. He's got a big old fucking shiner.
Marcel is a fucking killer. I love my instructor so much. And he's so old school. I love him about that too. That I'm so like, if I ever go to AOJ and I like train out in California because I want to move here and like live here for a bit, I'm still going to go back to Florida to get my next belt.
Okay.
From my original instructor. Because
he's your original guy, Marcelo is?
Original. Total original instructor. I was there on the day he got his black belt. Like,
no shit. Yeah. How long you been doing this for?
A while.
A while.
Him or me?
No, you.
Yeah, a while. Like 3rd, 4th grade.
Really? Damn, that's cool, man. So you know Marcelo for a long time too.
Yeah.
We know two different Marcelos, I guarantee it. Like the Marcelo you know is different than Marcelo I know.
Marcelo Cohen?
No. What I'm saying is like you know him as an instructor or whatever. You know what I mean? That's cool.
Years later, when I came back and I was like doing jiu-jitsu, it was like seventh, eighth, like ninth grade-ish, because I got into a fight and I wanted to go back and practice.
Yeah.
And I got to see the non-instructor side of my instructor.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy. He's a killer, and he's a savage.
No, for sure. When you take that, like when you take an instructor that you looked at as a kind of a teacher, and they become more than that, and you're like, oh, now I get to see like the real you. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of cool. It's like, oh wow, you're a real person too. Like I just always see you as a certain way. But so were you got in a couple of fights, and that's why you joined it?
No, when I was in, I'm a big part of me is like I always think like years ahead. So when I was in third, fourth grade, I understood that sixth graders were like the number one thing to be picked on in middle school.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to get jiu-jitsu and fighting now. That way I have 2-3 years experience before I hit middle school. And if anyone fucks with me, I'm gonna fuck them up. And it worked.
What middle school did you go to?
Jupiter Middle.
Okay.
I
went to Watkins, bro. That was the roughest. Dude, that's how teachers were getting their teeth knocked out by students. It was crazy.
No,
but
it was nowhere near that bad. I got kicked off the bus system for the entire time I was in middle school because in sixth grade, I was getting picked on the bus, and as soon as we stepped off the bus, I double hooked the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I got on top of the kid, and I held him down, and I was like, if you ever touch me again, I will I will end you. And he went and told the principal, and I was no longer on the bus.
Fucking bitches, bro. Those bullies. The second you get on top of them, start beating that head.
I waited until we got off the bus to do that, by the way. So I was like, this is legal.
Right.
You know? And then I still got in trouble.
Yeah. I was into karate for a little bit, and then I had to get a job at Publix. We were talking about that. It was like, oh, well, my extracurriculars and my hobbies or making money. So making money was more important to me. But I was out there, dude. I was the lemonade stand kid, right? So back in the day at the fair, it's like illegal now after the whole anthrax scare of like the late 90s.
What happened then?
So there were like people mailed anthrax to people.
What's that?
Anthrax is like it's a fucking powder that looks like, I don't know, it's like baby powder, I guess. And you mail it to someone, if they breathe it in, it could kill them potentially. You could poison them.
Oh, great.
So that was a big thing that was going around back then. There was a chemical that they would mail politicians and shit like that. It was nuts. So for some reason, this thing had like no scent, but people would smell weird things and assume that it was anthrax. Like it was a big thing. But at the time, I was going to the South Florida Fair, and ask any kid growing up at the South Florida Fair, they always got fart spray. Did you know what that was?
Well, we had in my generation had those
stink bombs.
Stink bombs.
Okay.
We stepped on them.
Right, the glass ones. Before that was fart spray, and like it was hard to get. So I look at the can and I asked the guy. I couldn't see anything on it. I remember doing this. I was like in 5th grade. I'm like, hey man, where do you get this stuff from? He's like Rhode-IslandNovelty.com. So I was buying cases of fart spray, dude, and just selling them. And I all like the little light up stuff you saw at fairs that kids were buying. I was selling that in middle school, high school. I wasn't like the candy bar kid because that shit melted and we're in South Florida. I'm like, I'm losing too much profit here, bro.
Yeah.
So
bagels.
I've always been, I'd go to other yard sales and collect shit, and then like go home and Google how much it was worth, and then put it on eBay. Like I was always in this kind of industry. And then it was really nerdy, man. And it was like no one wanted to hang out with the kid who's selling like old sweatshirts for, you know what I mean? And for me, like growing up as a ginger, and like I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I got into a cool friends group, and they're like, I wanted to go to FIT for the longest time, right? And study computer science. And then I somehow was hanging out with hot chicks, and then if their boyfriends wanted to befriend me, they're all like sports guys and whatnot. This is really funny, right?
Yeah.
So I became friends with this girl, and her boyfriend was kind of like mad of our friendship. And because of our last names, we were always sitting next to each other in school. Yeah. So like she couldn't get away from me. And the boyfriend's like, all right, I'm going to befriend this guy so he doesn't try to take my girl. And I'm some nerdy ginger kid, right? Just tall and lanky. I was even short. I was like 80 pounds soaking wet at the time. And we became friends. And next thing you know, I'm friends with all these jocks and shit. And I'm still nerding out in my own time. You know what I mean? But just when you go without attention, or you feel kind of awkward, and then you're kind of accepted in this world, you kind of like change yourself a little bit. You know what I mean? To kind of try to fit in. And I don't care what anyone says. Someone's always trying to fit in a little bit.
Yes.
So for me, I kind of like lost touch with that. And now it's cool because now I got Pebbles, and we're getting back into like building this shit. Like this is not cheap equipment. Like, you know what I mean? The streaming stuff is not. it's a lot easier than it used to be, but it's still got some difficultness to it. But yeah, man. So I've always been in this space, and then once I kind of got into the marketing online and using Facebook ads and Twitter to kind of target market ticket sales, Twitter was the place. Like 5 years ago, if you want to sell tickets to an event, Twitter was the spot.
Yeah, Twitter got hit real hard with the last political.
Yeah.
No one spent any money on Twitter advertisement for the last
Nope.
election.
Well, when you're
There were
calling
3
out
people. They were all Democrats.
that polled.
There was like 12 million or 20 million or something really, really small that was advertised on Twitter for politicians, and only 3 people spent all the money, and they were all Democrats.
Yeah. Well, that was a beef with so Obama won. If you ask most marketers, Obama won from email marketing campaigns. Like he crushed it. Email marketing
That's
for Obama.
You win, though. I don't know why people bitch about marketing.
100%. Fast forward 8 years, Trump won because of ads online, and Hillary's like, "What's Facebook ads?" Like
no shit, people. Like this is how it gets around. What do you think? Because my favorite is when Laura Barr or whatever it was in Florida, she has people that go around and knock on doors to vote for her, like
Right.
knock on doors and like, hey. And I'm thinking, I had a 15, 16-year-old high school girl come to my door and knock on my door for Laura Barr. And I was like, what the fuck is this politician doing, hiring these 15, 16-year-olds for probably minimum wage, going out to knock on doors?
or
in
they're
certain
volunteers.
or volunteers. And I'm like, you can sell like a Facebook ad and target all of these neighborhoods in
Right.
an engagement.
Like literally, you can target that house you're gonna go knock on.
Yeah.
And people, yeah, and like we really want politicians that have no idea how the internet works.
I was and then my favorite thing is when people actually use it, like Trump and respect.
I've been getting hit up by Trump ads on Spotify this week.
Yeah, I mean, like when they get used to it and they use it, people bitch at them like, "Oh, Facebook won the election." Like, no shit. That's where our attention is. That's what we're watching, dude.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna win the next election? All right, I want to put this on our next one or the next 2 or whatever. Audio, right?
Audio?
When audio pops off and Amazon Alexa's the thing, and then politicians start running audio ads. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
People are gonna start blaming audio and
You're not
Amazon
wrong.
for the next election. 100%.
You're not wrong. And then it'll all crumble down, and we'll be friendly again, and we'll help thy neighbors. Fuck that, dude. People are so funny. But yeah, I've been. You see the ads. One of my funniest things was if you go to Donald Trump's Facebook page and see how many of your friends like that, as opposed to Hillary. It was like 2 friends like Hillary, but why do these people all like Trump? Because obviously he was online in that space a lot earlier with the celebrity stuff he was doing, The Apprentice, the shows.
Yeah, I don't like Trump, but I have seen his Instagram account multiple times. Have I ever seen Hillary's? No. Have I ever seen any other politician?
No.
Except that Corey guy. He pushed Instagram for a while.
Corey.
When he stood up for what's her name? There was a girl who came out against Brett Kavanaugh, and he stood up for her as a politician, a Democratic politician, and he used that clip of him standing up for her on Instagram. That was the only other politician I saw on Instagram who was using it very well. But like I said, I don't like Trump, but I've seen his Instagram account. That's where I'm at.
Dude, he hired the right people. I just saw something, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't want to put this out there if it's not true, but I heard that the chick that called out Kavanaugh was like, I never actually met that dude. Let me Google this. I've been meaning to do this for a minute and might as well before I forget again.
I'm not very big into politics, mostly because I can't fucking vote. So
yeah, of course. I like Kavanaugh.
I think next year though, or the next election, I'm gonna have to really get into it and learn my shit because I will be voting.
Kavanaugh accused or confessed to making false accusations.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is the shit too.
But I think there's a lot of advertisements out there that are trying to push that narrative about it.
Bro, let me tell you something. I'll post online and 10 things go on every day that piss me off online. But one of the things that someone wrote, I just hate that Facebook, listen up, Facebook. You're not a jury. Okay, you're nobody. You're just someone with an opinion online. You can't go after someone and attack them and then mail them threats I believe this country. Okay, I believe in due process and innocent until proven guilty. Yeah. You can't just get an act and they go, well, what kind of woman would lie about that? Let me tell you something. In the bar, you want to hear a crazy bar story?
Yeah, you're in the club world.
Bro, I'll tell you. I've seen some shit. So this one chick that was bartending for us, she went nuts. Like she was back when like the opioid epidemic was like real easy access to like pain pills and shit. She was like smoking pills in the bathroom. We called her, like, you gotta go, you're fired. So she tries to like sexually come on to the general manager, and she's like, come on. And I'm in the room, and I'm like, I was like 21, 22, and I'm like, what the fuck? Is this really going down? Like, she's trying to suck my boss's dick for like to keep her job. And he's like, get the fuck away from me. You're crazy. You're clearly high. Like, and this guy was a married man, like real faithful to his wife. This guy was a great guy. Yeah. So we kick her out. She leaves. She goes around the side of the building. She calls her brother up, like her brother, her big bad brother, right? To try to like beat up the manager into getting her job back, I guess was in her mind.
Where was this?
This is at Mr. G's Rock and Roll Bar and Cafe.
But where? Like what city?
West Palm Beach, Florida.
Oh shit!
Yeah, dude. Of course, Florida. Go figure. But so this chick goes around back. She comes back in with her brother.
Yeah.
She's running. By this point, the manager already left. It's like 2 a.m. now. I was the closing manager. Yeah. She's chasing me around the pool tables with a fucking mug. You know, a beer mug is heavy, dude. She's chasing me around with a mug. And I'm like, what the fuck? She grabs my shirt. I'm running around. She fucking falls. Okay. We finally get her out the door again. Her brother's out there. Her brother's in the car, drives up, runs over my bar back. Who then, my other bar back comes running around the corner, jumps in through the driver's side and like punches this dude. He's driving a stick shift. So now my bar back is pinned between the front door of the bar and the car. This is a fucking 100% true story. And then when he did that, he knocked the guy out through the window, the driver, her brother, knocks him out, and then it's a clutch, so it pops. So now my fucking bar back is literally pinned. You can't go anywhere. Yeah. We didn't even call the cops because it wasn't that kind of bar. You know, some things just happened. No one was really injured other than like a lot of egos. But so they leave, right? And they come back. They're going around the corner of the bar. We're like, what the fuck's going on? Her brother is literally, okay, so before this happens, this is what happens. The car pulls out. She gets on the hood of the car and does a duck dive onto the pavement. This is all on camera. Like this, he owned the whole parking lot, so every corner was the camera. Her brother punches her 3 times in the eye, and then tries to say, she calls the cops. We didn't call the cops. She calls the cops and say the owner of the building tried to assault me and rape me, and when I tried to run away, he beat me up. We show the cops this video. She's like, what the fuck? Her brother's beating her ass in the parking lot. Yeah. She literally didn't hit anybody, nothing. She fell over one time. She literally had her brother beat her ass in the parking lot to try to blame it on the owner of the establishment, who's a good friend of mine, a mentor. And I'm just like, cops, here you go. So when I see a story about some he say, she say bullshit when it comes to politics, a space where people do a lot of dumb shit in the political world to like advance themselves, whether it's spreading false knowledge or whatever it is, I'm like, listen, man, we all need to remember that we're all human beings, even these politicians, and they want nothing more than to like win this election or win whatever. You know, like someone told me a while ago, it was like politics are the Hollywood for ugly people, and I'm like, that makes a lot of fucking sense. It's a bunch of people that are trying to like get the starring role, and they're, you know. And as much as you don't want to get involved in it, and you said you can't vote yet. Yeah,
I'm like, I'm not really like.
So you gotta get sick of it then when you see it all online.
Yeah, because I'm like, no matter what happens in the world, I like can't do shit.
Right.
Well, I can't vote. Like if I really wanted to, I want to like change something. Yes, I can make my own advertisements, start running Facebook ads, and like in a local area regarding an issue I care about. But that's not me. I'm not necessarily like, I'm not a politician guy. I'm not going to jump into that kind of deal. I don't consider myself a liberal or conservative. I don't like Donald Trump, but I don't like Hillary Clinton. Like I'm just, and what does it matter anyways? Because I don't vote.
Dude, you start saying fuck everybody, and then everyone attacks you. That's just crazy. It's like, yo,
fuck everybody.
Dude, I'm right there with you, bro. I'm right there with you. Me. I'm right there with you, man. Like these people, you say, wait, that sounds like a bunch of bullshit. And they go, oh, you're a fucking fascist, you're a racist, whatever. And you're like, oh, no, bro, you're crazy. You are crazy. And then you go over here and say, well, I don't necessarily agree with this either. Like say, I think gay marriage is fine. I don't give a shit. Love who you love. Oh, you're fucking, or the conservatives will say, that's bad. That's not what the Bible says, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, man, you're fucking weird. And then you're like, I don't think all these people should be milking our government for things. Like the fact that one woman in Chicago is able to fraud the system for like millions of dollars in like 6 months. Maybe there's a lot of fraud going on in this government. EBT, I'm not saying remove them. I'm saying the government doesn't do a good job of preventing fraud within itself, right? So I'm like, they go, oh, you're a fascist Trump supporter. I'm like, wait, what? Aren't we all American, motherfucker? Why do I gotta? Can I just be an American? Can I just rock the American flag? Like, what's wrong with you fuckers? And then another thing is, you go and ask somebody, like, oh, the fascists are Trump supporters. I'm gonna do we should do this before you fucking leave. This would be great.
Yeah, you know what's a really, really good study that was the human mind naturally gravitates towards one side or the other.
Okay.
Right? People love taking sides no matter what it is. That's why football's a crazy sport. That's why soccer's a crazy sport, because it's one side against the other, and that's what it is. And because politics is a huge spectrum, people love still taking sides. So I think,
for sure.
Yeah, and right now people are just trying to gravitate, as crazy it is, to whatever side it is, no matter what it stands for. And basically say, fuck the other side, no matter what you say, what happens, fuck you. I'm part of this, no matter what we stand for, no matter who's representing us. And like the same thing with like football fans. If there's two football teams going at it, you're gonna say fuck the other team, no matter what they are, what they stand for.
I always use an analogy.
Right, and I think like right now, because Facebook and Instagram's algorithm is dedicated towards people who like what they like, and especially politically, you're going to be shown advertisements that gravitate you more towards a liberal side or more towards a conservative side, because it keeps you on the platform longer. And what's crazy is the crazier your stance is on the subject, crazier conservative you are or crazier liberal you are, you'll be your organic reach goes up, because Facebook and Instagram want other people to see your crazy shit.
You're right.
Because it keeps other people on the platform. And now you have a bunch of people on the liberal side that are like, or conservative side, whatever you want to say, that now believe this crazy dumb shit. Who is like this crazy dumb shit? And like that one dude who exploded on Twitter, InfoWars.
Yeah, Alex Jones.
Yeah, who exploded
Oh my God.
because he just went around saying dumb, crazy shit, because and social media algorithm loves that.
Yeah.
So
you're right. Yeah, you're right there. And that's fucking crazy how, and people don't see it from like a marketing standpoint. And it's like, dude, if the crazier shit you come up with and put out there in the world gets you more views, which gets you more money, you're going to continue to produce crazy shit.
Yeah, like back to the clone thing.
Yeah. I'm a clone. Damn it, we need face tats, Dom. What the fuck are we doing wrong?
No, fuck that. I wanted wanted a dragon tattoo partially on my neck and down my sleeve. And then for like the tail of the dragon, I wanted the Scorpio symbol because I'm a Scorpio.
Okay.
I thought it'd be dope. And then all these rappers started coming out with like neck and face tattoos, and I was like, about that.
Dude, I grew up my hair. Like my hair was down on my waist for a long time, and then all these dudes started getting like top buns and shit. I'm like, all right, fuck all y'all, man. Like, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, well, back to like growing up, like way back in the conversation, you were talking about how you sold
like garage sale shit.
Yeah,
fart spray.
Fart spray. Because along those lines, what you also said, people you like don't give a shit about what you say. My first mentor I met in 6th grade, and one of the things he really, really pushed into me was, fuck what people say, be who you want to be, no matter what.
Right.
So in 6th grade, I learned to be myself. So before society could teach me to not be myself, I had already in my mind to be myself. So I never really learned how to fit in, or I never really learned to give a shit to fit in. So everything I did throughout my middle school, high school, and even now was never in any way, shape, or form predicated towards anyone, any group, any family member, like nothing. I gave a shit about myself to this very day.
That's good, because let me break it up real quick. I know fucking 40-year-old men that are still trying to impress women. I'm like, dude, work on yourself. That's all I can tell you. Fix yourself, and then women will, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So go ahead, continue that.
Yeah, so in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, throughout middle school, I was, my mentor said, go to the mall and just meet as many people as you can, and you're going to get hundreds of rejections. You're going to meet hundreds of great people, but you're going to learn how to interact with people and to be yourself. So I would literally just go up to every single person I met at the mall, get rejected. I've heard everything you could possibly think of in the books, but I learned to love it. I learned to have fun with it. Now, that when I got into entrepreneurship and marketing, I was like, all right, what's a good way I could stand out and make money? So what I did was, when I was in 9th grade, for the beginning of my 9th grade year, I every single day I made it a mission to meet one new person in every single one of my classes. And I brought a toaster to school, and I put it in my locker, and I ran a cord out the back of my locker into the outlet, and I sold bagels to one new person in every single one of my classes.
Dude, you really didn't give a fuck what people thought about you. You're the weird kid selling bagels. I love it.
I wasn't even just a weird kid selling bagels. I was then meeting a new person every single day. And in ninth grade, I understand popularity. I broke down the popularity system, what it was. It was basically popularity is just having a lot of people know about you and have a lot of people like you.
Yeah.
So what I did is I met every fucking person in high school. I literally just walked up to random people every single day. Every single, like, lunch, before school, after school, I just meet random people every single day. And throughout middle school, like I said, I was meeting random people. So I had the skills to walk up to someone, make them feel comfortable around me, and, you know, present myself in a fashionable manner to where I'm not, like, nervous to talk to them or anything like that. And I'd literally, like, I had my entire grade know about me as this kid that was just walking up, talking to people, starting weird conversations.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, it was so much fun. And then towards the end of that year, I was like, all right, I started my own email marketing business. I was making good money. I was like, all right, fuck school. I'm going to end up dropping out. And once I got into the mindset of, like, I'm going to drop out, I just stopped giving a fuck about school entirely and just focused on, like, meeting people and making those connections that you need to, because that's what was important to me. So I'd come to school, and a way for me to stand out and meet people that were along my kind of category is I wore some dumb shit. Like, I went to school in, like, pajamas, and every single day I had a pillow. I brought a physical pillow. And I took my binder for all my classes, put it inside the pillowcase, and I just walked around school.
What grade were you in this?
Ninth, and then early 10th grade, I still did the same shit.
You were just asking for it.
Oh, yeah. Like, I was like Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
As the crazier it is, the more you are yourself, though, because that was me.
100%.
I thought it was hilarious. I was like, you know, and I get to sleep in class. Like,
yeah.
Come on. It was great. I'd pass out in class every single day because I just didn't give a fuck about Saturn or chemistry or any of that.
Dude, that's so fucking true. And like, I always, one of my favorite things to say is your network equals your net worth. And you have to go out there and meet new people. Like, I always go out, every time I go out now, I have business cards. I want to pass out 10 cards and get 5 numbers in my phone. I don't know when I'm going to use them or what I'm using for, but just talking to people. You'd be a great club promoter, bro.
Dude, I walked.
Because you gotta get rejected a lot.
That's how we met.
I know. You're like, hey man, what's this? I'm like, what the fuck? Who's this? What?
That's how we met.
I know, for 100%. But that's how I met everybody. Is just kind of not really being. It wasn't even awkward. It's just like people think it's awkward because they're so like they're so just fucking. I don't even know what the word is, but they're so just like scared to go up there. And once you get that out of the way and realize that everyone's just a person, no matter if they're with headphones on and trying to DJ and some kids talking to you. Or no. But
if I have a question, I'm gonna ask the question.
No, 100%, man. You gotta be that way. You gotta be that way, and that's how you're fucking 17 doing 7-7-17. And then also, didn't you just do some like bike ride thing too that I saw? What was that? Was that a disaster? What did you do?
It was a total disaster. It was.
I love it though. Love it. You did it.
All right. This is a good story for all of you people that just are meeting me. I had the great idea. I was biking to the gym one day because, like I do in Jupiter, Florida, I don't own a car. I don't really see a point in owning a car, so I bike. And I was like, you know what would be really cool is if I just went north, and that's it. Let's just bike north. So I called one of my friends, Jason, who's down to do fucking anything.
Yeah.
He came to New York.
You need those guys.
Anything. I love Jason. And I was like, yo, I got this cool idea. Let's just bike up the coast of Florida to Jacksonville. I got a friend in Jacksonville. Let's go to Jacksonville.
On the bikes.
And I was like, all right, this is how we're going to do it. Because at the time I was already in like the marketing space and I knew my shit. So I was like, I'm going to contact businesses and people in 3 different cities. It was going to be Melbourne Beach, Daytona, and Jacksonville. And I'm going to find us bikes, food, a place to stay. And I did all 3 of those cities. Now, the thing is, though, I didn't understand about what kind of a take is going to take on your body when you're biking.
Physical. Yeah.
I was so focused on like food and a place to stay and the marketing aspect of it that I was like, oh, you know, we'll just be able to bike 100+ miles.
And then you had pop-up parties too, right?
Yeah, we had a party going on in every single one of the cities that I had to cancel 2 of the cities because we only made it to Melbourne. And I didn't even make it to my own Melbourne party because I thought it was going to take us 8 hours to bike it, but it took us 23 hours to bike it.
Yeah, dude. It's not a car. You just go, like, okay, if I average this miles per hour, I could, no, it's like the
Google Maps was like, it'll take you 8 hours. So I was like, oh shit, 8 hours, bet. I didn't really account for the fact that I was going to make it to Vero Beach and be fucking dying.
Dying.
Right? And like,
And then you thought you were gonna make it to Melbourne and then party there.
oh yeah,
Dude, you were like a part of the pillow, maybe.
Oh yeah, I mean, like my stamina is amazing on a bicycle, and like we were still popping off. Like we got to Melbourne, we could have made it. Like we could have kept going and pushing it, but with 23 hours of biking 100 plus miles, you're pretty fucked. But the thing is, when you bike pack, you're supposed to have special shit on your bike so you can put your stuff on the bicycle instead of on your bag.
Yep.
I didn't go do that. I bought a 35-liter backpack and just shoved my shit in a backpack, and I biked 100 miles with a fucking 35-liter backpack.
Yeah. On. That'll wear you out.
Oh yeah.
you gotta be. That's why everything's on the bike, attached to the bike.
This was in July of Florida. Too.
Yeah, it was hot as hell. I saw you doing that. I'm like, this kid's fucking crazy.
It was like 97.
But I kept watching. I'm like, let's see where he's at, bro. I kept watching.
It was so much. It was so worth it, and that trip changed my life and like my perspective on what you can do if you just put your mind to it. Because my friend, like, I trained for it. I trained every single day for a week straight. I ate the right foods.
You trained for a week.
Well, I mean, I bike in my city. I biked every single day.
Yeah, but dude, you still trained for a week.
It was still hard. Like, don't get me wrong.
No, what I mean is like it would probably take me a month before I would be like, hey, let's just bike to fucking Jacksonville.
I was like biking for 6 years before that, and I biked 3 to 8 miles every day. So it wasn't like.
Yeah, dude,
crazy.
I was biking 26 miles a day at one point, man, and I'd still look at Jacksonville like, fuck that.
My friend Jason, off of no sleep the night before, a shitty bicycle that he chose, and no training, no calorie dump, and a shitload of weed, biked it with me, kept up with me, no calorie dump, nothing like that, whole fucking way.
Was he high the whole time? He had to be high.
He wished he was high. Oh yeah, I know. It was I was like so because I really did think that we were gonna stop because he was gonna pass out or we were gonna get a flat tire. Like those were the two ways that this was gonna end.
Yep.
And he made it.
He muscled it.
I'm so like I was so beyond proud of that kid because I was like because a week before I was like, yo, I don't know if you're gonna be able to fucking do this. Like, you're not training, you're sleeping in like till like 1 a.m. And the thing is, I had my sleep schedule lined up to where we'd be able to sleep and wake up on time. Like I practiced down to my sleep schedule.
Damn.
He, because he was so used to pulling all-nighters and sleeping in the day, sucked it through on the daytime. But when 8, 9, 10 p.m. came around, my body started crashing. He was up and fucking going.
That's my problem, dude. Going from nightlife for 12 years.
Yeah.
From 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. I'm like, yeah, crush. To like coming out here and I'm like, I got to work a regular job. Like not a regular job by any means, but like I have to be up at 6, 7 a.m. I'm like, these aren't my hours, man. I'm on the other side of the clock. Like PM is my shit.
You're a night owl.
Yeah. PM and an early AM. But now it's just been, like I'll leave for work sometimes at 4 a.m. and get home at like 2. Like I'm working 20, 22-hour days. Like it's insane. And a lot of, because
you meant 4 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Yeah, dude. 22-hour days.
I was like 4 to 2 is not that bad.
No.
You meant like,
dude, a slow day for me is 17 hours. Slow day.
Fuck that.
Bro, it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. But I wouldn't have it any other way. And it's I can do as much as I can do and then focus on what I want to focus on because now I'll be able to work, 3-4 days a week and then have the other 3 days or 4 days, depending on the week, to focus on the podcast, building everything I need to build and just kind of, and it's really cool. I'm glad you reached out because one of the problems I've been having is people will flake. Oh, I want to get on the podcast. So I literally bought like that Pelican case over there. I flew all this home with me last month to interview a couple people and then they all bailed. And I'm like, yo, I flew here for this because I wasn't going out there. You really kind of sparked this again. It's like, how did I become successful in nightlife? And it was really just going out there and talking to everyone. I was going to malls. Like, what are you doing tonight? And what's the mall full of? A bunch of kids your age. They have nowhere else to go. They can't get into bars, can't get into clubs, at least, without a fake or whatever. They're just walking around. They have no supervision for like, probably not with you, probably not the first time in your life. But a lot of these kids are like, okay, you're 17 now, you're driving, go to the mall with your friends. And I was a kid, I would go to the Gardens Mall for hours with my cousin. He would try to pick up chicks. I was 16. He was like 18. He's trying to pick up chicks. I'm just like...
Was this like the PUA industry?
The POA?
PUA? Pickup artist?
Oh, no. No, he still can't pick up chicks. Luckily, my dad calls it the curse, but luckily I've always done pretty well I've always had a girlfriend that was kind of like, what the fuck is she doing with that? Look at this nerd. And I'm like, yeah, bro. Like I'm pulling dimes. I have no idea how, but I literally just like, I love talking. Obviously, I love meeting new people, and I think like the biggest factor is if you can make a chick laugh, you'll like find a way into her heart. You know, like legit. That's what it is.
I have fire in my eyes. So like anyone, like any girl, like that comes my way has to be able to keep up with it. And people in general, like I don't know, I lose a lot of friends, like close friends, because I'm just so what's next? What's the next thing?
Likewise.
What's the next thing? Let's do this. What's next? What's next? Let's go. Like all my good friends, like you or my friend Michael and that kind of deal, are all other entrepreneurs.
Right.
That understand that kind of mindset in that space.
And there are women out there like that, but I can't find one. Like I always ask. One of my ex-girlfriends I dated for 5 years, I was like, I'm always hustling. I'm always like, there's one point in my life where I was making like 10 grand a month, like every month coming in. And I'm like, how do I get to 15? How do I get to 20? How do I get to 50? Like, how do I keep growing to make more money and to like, to while I'm making more money, try to streamline that and automate it and then continue to make that money while I'm working on other ventures. Like, that's what I'm always trying to do. And I asked a girl, she was an esthetician, beautiful girl, did it for years. I don't want to drop too much knowledge on her, but I was like, hey, if I got to be one day where I can open up like your own like medical spa to do the esthetician work of the whatever. She's like, no, I don't want that. I don't want to work for myself. I want to just work for someone and just be told what to do. And I'm like, you can't. How do you explain? And there's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm not saying there is, but when you're with a guy like us who's like go, what are you doing next month? What the fuck am I doing tomorrow? You know, something could pop up at midnight tonight. I get a tweet from someone and it's like, hey, we want to slide through San Francisco. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, let's do it. So, and a lot of times people say no. They say no a lot to different things that don't allow them to kind of end up in LA like you have, or do this 7-7-17 thing, or even try the bike challenge. Like they just.
Yeah. Well, back with the girl, like what would be the ideal girl to be able to keep up with that kind of energy?
A fucking hustler, bro. A hustler, dude. I want a chick that's like...
That's not on her phone 24/7 trying to Snapchat.
No, I want a chick who's on her phone 24/7 looking at her fucking Facebook conversions, bro. I'm like, yo, what are you doing over there? Just sold 2 more.
You know what was crazy is I DM'd a girl recently and I was like, and we went on a date and I was like, yeah, I checked out your Instagram page and I was like, damn... That engagement conversion though. Right?
Right? I mean, for a chick, for me, I just want a chick that understands how my fucking brain works. And it's hard to explain to even my guy friends, let alone find a girl that will sit here and just rap with me about this shit. Even when I was in the club scene, if I wasn't working at a bar, someone called me, I'm in Palm Beach DJing a gig, or I'm in Tallahassee in school. They're like, hey, can you get us in to live on Sunday? And I'm like, I could say no. And say, no, I'm not, or not answer the phone call. Or I could just do 15 minutes of work, connect this promoter with this guy. He's got a bachelorette party coming in from Vegas. They want to have a good time in Miami. I'm not making any money out of it right now, but I'm paying it forward. Those ended up being clients later in life. Go fucking figure. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or the wedding DJ. I got my buddy with that. I'll get some money. I'll find a way. I just want to help everyone. I'm a yes man, like in that sense. If there's a problem, I'll solve it. Like I'll drop this fucking bomb on everyone listening when they listen. So I had a phone call through some of Skrillex's people in Miami, and they're like, "Hey, Skrillex wants to do a dubstep birthday party, and it's on a Monday night. I'm at the club at 4 p.m. He wants to do a dubstep birthday party in Miami tonight." I'm like, "Okay, let's fucking do it." They're like, well, I got it. Are we doing it? Call my people. Let's make this happen. We're good. Cool. In 3 hours, we had like 2,000 people waiting outside. We had a brand new sound system brought in, brand new light show brought in, whatever. That was a success. The next day is like, yeah, that was sick, man. Like we had a great time. We'll be back for WMC in March. Let's talk again. Hey man, we need to rent a yacht. Got it. Did it for him. I'm like, did I get paid? No. Didn't get paid. We need a house to rent on South Beach. I'm like, well, I don't got South Beach, but I got a better neighborhood, right? Like we'll rent you the house. Okay, cool. Did it. Damn, bro, like you're plugged up. You know a bunch of people. Cool. I was like, hey, they wanted to do a radio show on a yacht. So I'm like, well, I asked, do you want a studio space? Do you want a club? He's like, no, we like to do it outdoors. Like in LA, we do it in the hills, and we have that beautiful view, which you saw yesterday, and you've been seeing the mountains, some inspiration stuff, the sunset. I'm like, all right, so you want to do it on a yacht? They're like, yeah. So I had to go pick up Chami, Mercer, and DJ Snake to bring them to this mansion for the yacht party to film their iTunes, to film their, and I'm doing all this shit, right?
Yeah.
They're like, what are you getting paid? I'm like, nothing. So we did that one. And then his manager.
It's not about that money.
No, it's not about the money.
It's not
so his
about
GM
that
hits
money.
me up. His GM hits me up and he's like, hey man, do you know anyone in Brazil? I'm like, I know everyone in Brazil, dog. I know everybody, bro. You know? Didn't know anybody. Come on Facebook. Who do I know in Brazil? And they go, well, what's going on? I go, well, okay. So he wanted to find a venue to do a radio show at in Brazil. So I find him 2 locations. One was on top where he ended up just picking. One was on top of this awesome hotel in Rio, and it just overlooked the entire city, and it was like the tallest building there, so it was sick. So it was him, all the same guys. Miha was there, and they did their radio show, whatever. And then the second location I scouted for them was actually this bridge, but on top of this, it was got like a pedestrian walkway built into an amphitheater. So he just showed up there, popped up, started playing at that location, and like, I think a couple thousand people showed up to this free Skrillex show downtown Brazil on this crosswalk. Like crazy shit, right? So then a month goes by. Hey, man, Opie. I'm talking to Blaze James, who was like the general manager of Oslo.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Skrillex's label. I say, hey, man, need another favor. I'm like, all right. Well, what are we going to do now? We got a big contract to do a movie soundtrack song for Warner Brothers. I mean, we need a Miami artist. I'm like, a Miami artist. I'm like, I got Trick Daddy. My brother's really good friends at Birdman, which is all the Cash Money guys. I'm just I'm like, who do you want? I got Trick Daddy, Birdman. I said some of the names. He's like, you know anyone? What about Rick Ross? And I'm like, I can get Rick Ross. Can I get Rick Ross? Fucking no. I didn't think I could, but I thought I could. So I hit up my boy Limo Matt, who's huge. Limo Matt. When I met Limo Matt, he was.
What's his last name?
Matthew Hicks. This motherfucker, bro. Let me tell you something. This guy moved here from somewhere. Moved to Boca. He was living in a parking garage on a golf cart. Okay, this guy is he's one of us.
I love this kind of guy.
Hustler.
Hell yeah.
Now he drives. He goes to the Super Bowl city to drive all the famous guys. He drives every hip hop artist in Miami. He's driving to the studio, from the studio, and still helping his boy out. So I go, yo, man, Skrillex needs Rick Ross, and he's like, all right, let's make it happen. So because of me and Matt. I had Skrillex, Sonny, and he had Rick Ross. That song later became the theme song for Suicide Squad with Skrillex and Rick Ross.
G shit
From a guy who's sleeping on a fucking golf cart in Boca and a nerd who's trying to find his way. And they go, dude, did you get paid for that or anything? Were you in the video? I'm like, none of it. I was in none of it. But do I care? No, because all I do is keep placing myself in positions to help people out, and occasionally it'll work.
You never know. It has as much value as you get.
Yeah,
is eventually some way and somehow it's gonna come back with you.
Right. And I didn't do it for money. I didn't do it for this. I'm like, and for me as a DJ, I used to get kicked out of clubs. I have a special thing with Skrillex, right? I'm fanboyed up. Okay, because I was getting kicked out of clubs as a DJ for playing dubstep. And I'm like, this genre is gonna make it. And everyone's like, no, it's not. You can't dance to it.
I remember that time.
Right? And I'm like, fuck all y'all. I believe in this crazy motherfucker with a shaved side head and these funny glasses. I believe in it. Fuck you, fuck you. And then he blew up and I'm like, fuck all y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then when Skrillex was like headlining Ultra with Jack U and he's on the yacht and I'm like sitting there next to him and I'm like, I wasn't like all fanboyed out. He's a real human being. He's a very nice guy. I'm just like, I fucking went through shit. I got picked. I was a dubstep kid and I'm like, bass music lives. And I'm like, and then everyone's like, hey man, can we get on the boat with you? I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah,
you said he was never going to go anywhere.
Oh my God. I've been traveling and I've been doing business for a long fucking minute. Like a long minute, right? The second I start posting it, like a week ago for 7717, you know how many motherfuckers came out of absolutely nowhere and was like, hey dude, you know, what? One of these motherfuckers was my like really, really good friend, right? And then went and tried to fuck my ex.
Okay.
Right? Fuck this kid. And fuck you if you're listening. And
you can put him on your site, man. He's just not worth it.
It's just
but
those
yeah.
kind of people, like as soon as I started traveling, as soon as I came out of nowhere, like, yo, dude, I understand we have had our differences.
They come back.
Know? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing watching my shit? Get the fuck out. Like,
yeah. Oh, it gets worse as you get older, bro. Oh, trust me, you have a lot to learn.
As you start doing more shit, more
Dude,
people come out of nowhere.
I moved to Miami. So when I was in West Palm, I had every gig, and I'm like, okay, I'm done West Palm. Need to move to Miami. And these kids from Port St. Lucie wanted to start DJing. So I got them gigs in Port St. Lucie, down in West Palm. Then they blew up. They took my gigs. They undercut me. I was getting, dude, there was a time where I was getting $500 a night, 5 nights a week. Okay. These motherfuckers come down. Now what DJs get?
They undercut you.
Now they get $150. And they go, oh, my laptop got stolen. They're calling the owners. Yeah, they're calling the owners saying, "Oh, Opie's laptop got stolen. I'll do his gig. I have all his music." Da 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 da. Like, it's fucking cutthroat, bro. And I'm like, all right, try me, motherfucker. You don't have the following I have. So they let me go for a cheaper guy. A month later, the night's dead as fuck because I brought that party somewhere else. Like, dude, out of like the 20, 30, 40 nightclubs I've worked at, like more than just a DJ or a promoter, like within 2 or 3 months, 7 clubs shut down from when I left to when, yeah, it was just crazy. So then I'm like, I'm done with West Palm. You guys can have this shit, keep it. And then I moved to Miami, and next thing you know, those same kids that fucked me out of my gigs in West Palm were like, "Hey, bro, can we ride your dick some more and get some gigs in Miami?" I'm like, no, you can't. So I made my boy Julian resident DJ at Club Space, which is like the spot you want to DJ at for after hours. It's it's been there forever. And they're like, "Well, why can't we do that?" I'm like, "Because you're not loyal. You're not fucking trustworthy." I go, "Julian's been with me since the fucking stinker, and when I lost my fucking thunder for a minute there, he brought me back up to redo it and revisit it and get back on the fucking horse."
I'm an asshole though. Like,
so fuck this guy. Tell me about this guy.
No. I'm an asshole. When people fuck me over, they're dead to me. It's over.
Yeah.
Like I literally that kid, I sent him one text and I found out he was trying to fuck my ex. I was like, lose my number, you're blocked. And I haven't spoken to him since. Like, that was it.
Yeah, he'll come back around, bro.
Oh, he did.
Already?
Yeah, that was the kid that he texted me. He was like, "Yo, we've had our differences." I'm like, "Fuck you. What do you mean differences? I don't like you. Get the fuck out of here."
Do you need someone to hold? And that's so funny how people can literally just fuck you over and try to do something that will generally hurt you. This isn't like taking a gig for money. This is a girl that you probably care about. He's trying to slide in on there.
I was ready to beat the fuck. Like,
yeah, bro.
I did not come from a great background or a great place, and my inner BJJ came out, and I was like, "Where the fudge muffins is this kid?
Yeah.
I'm gonna find him." And I was not in a very happy mindset, and he stayed away from me. He was very, very scared, and for the longest time. And the second I'm out of Jupiter, I get a Snapchat. I was in the airport, I remember that, and I was just like, I was with my friend Jason. He knows the kid, and I was like, "Can you believe this motherfucker out of like?" And then it's not just him. Like, I've had a shitload of people that have like fucked me over or said you weren't gonna make it or you can't do that.
Yeah.
And now they see me, like, now that I'm posting about it. I've been doing this for a while, but now that I'm posting about it, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Now you're Snapchatting me. Now you're in my DMs. Now
It's so stupid. Yeah. Now you like Skrillex, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's the same shit, and it's funny how soon it happens. You don't gotta be a bazillionaire for them to start coming back around. You could just post a cool video in LA, and they're like, "Oh, hey man, I know I've been really shitty to you. We've had our differences, but I want to, like, what's he want to do? Hold your tripod for you?" What was like the purpose of him reaching out to you? Just to try to get on good standings?
I read, we've had our differences, and like, hope you have the best. I heard it, like, I don't know. Like, the first 2 sentences I read from that conversation, I was just like, all right, I'm done. It was a Snapchat, so I just left the chat.
Yeah.
I left him on red. And a part of me was like, I'm just going to block this kid. Because, like I said, when you fuck me over, it's done. You're out of my life. Like, you're blocked. Like, you don't exist to me.
You can really do that, though?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm an asshole. Yeah.
You can do that? God, I wish I was more like that.
100%. I'm a total dick.
God, you're such a motherfucker. I wish I was like that.
Blocked, done, out of my life. And I'll even get to the point where you could, like, he still watches my Snapchat. He'll see this shit. Like,
shout out.
I don't give a fuck, though. Like, yeah. I'm going to sit, like, if you want to watch me, fucking go for it. If you want to try to talk to me, fucking go for it. But you're dead to me. You don't exist to me. You're blocked out of my life. Like, you're an unloyal person. You stab me in the back. I don't trust you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And then, like, that same ex, this is funny. That same ex, all right, we broke up, and I went out and I started doing shit again because I had a lot of time on my hands, and the way I was getting over a breakup was just like kill it, like in life. Like, I started a new business, I got 2 new clients, like I started working out very, very heavily, and that's when I got my GED and my permit all in the same week we broke up.
Damn, son.
Yeah, business, 2 clients, all in the same week we broke up, and so a few months later, come again. I guess people that break up with you don't want to see you do well.
No.
No, not at all.
Nope.
So 2 months later, my brother is in high school, and I want to go to high school, and I'm going to eat lunch with my brother. So I sneak into the school, right?
Nice.
And I'm in this school.
That's probably the only kid that sneaks into school.
Yeah.
Like
I sneaked into this school, and I'm about to eat lunch with my brother, and that motherfucking ex of mine goes up to the principal, taps her on the shoulder, says that kid's not supposed to be here. And the principal comes over, pulls me aside, brings the police over, and brings me into the police officer room to trespass me for being on Jupiter High School's campus. Funny thing is, though, that same night, I was late, right? So because I was in the police office over in Jupiter High School getting my trespassing warning, I was late for my Uber to take me to Orlando to stay in a 5-star hotel that I had a speech in the next morning. So while she was laughing with her friend for those 5 minutes, in 5 hours, I was in Orlando in a spa at an arcade. And I remember sitting next to my friend at the spa. I'm bitching about this. And he's like, dude, what the fuck are you bitching about?
Right.
Like, do you see where we are? You can go talk to those girls right now.
Yeah.
We're in a 5-star resort in a spa, and she's getting ready for her second day of school. Fuck you. And once that hit me, I was like, yo, you got a point.
You gotta, one of my favorite things also right now is like I meet people that are in the industry that I'm in, and they're young, they're like 22, or I'll meet these girls. A lot of the chicks are a lot of people in the industry are women, and they're young girls, 22, 23. And I'm like, you realize that your brain isn't even fully developed yet. Like think about that. Like you're killing it right now for someone your age. Like I whether or not you're killing it, like on finances or whatever. Like just the fact that you're like, hey, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna keep doing this and chasing this and whatever it is. You're definitely a driven guy.
Yeah, I'm cheap as fuck, but yeah,
bro. But your brain's not even developed yet. And you're fucking doing shit that no one else is doing. You're like, okay, school's bullshit. I'm dropping out, getting my GED. That was me in college. I'm like, Mom, I'm making money in nightlife. I'm already doing it. I own a business. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't need to be here anymore. Like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, when I take advantage of every second I can get that my brain's not fully developed. Like, I'm learning languages. Like, I speak English, Spanish, and French. I'm learning Mandarin right now. Like, I'm doing
what?
Because I know my brain's not fully developed.
Yeah.
I know that shit. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke because I know my brain's not fully developed.
Hell yeah.
And I am pounding the shit out of my brain now because I know it's going to be easier to learn languages.
Yeah.
It's going to be easier to pick up new skills.
What about computer languages?
Everything. Like
that?
Oh, I mean, yeah. If I can read code and I can type it if I really, really, really need to.
Yeah.
I did 2 years of coding.
Fuck yeah.
But coding is very.
So what are you trying to do? Like, obviously you want to come out here. You want to meet a chick tonight. I know you're trying to get to Sunset over there, right?
What do you mean? I got nothing to do tonight.
Okay. I know. I'm saying I don't know if you wanted to go catch the sunset, if you had plans to do that.
Nah, I'm chilling.
All right. We can just keep this vibes rolling then. What
So what do you mean? What I'm trying to do, like in life?
Today? Yeah, I know it's a hard question to ask, but I guess people always ask me, not always, but like, hey man, what's your like 1 year plan, your 5 month, 6 month plan, 6 year plan?
I know it all.
You know it all?
All of it.
Are you serious?
I know it down to the decade.
What?
Yeah.
So what's your most immediate plan?
My most immediate plan is van life. I want to buy that van.
Van life.
But even then, everything I do is building a base right now for me, myself in a decade. Like everything I do. The van life, Los Angeles, where we're at right now, Facebook Watch, everything I'm doing, everything I'm building is not right now. It's not immediate. It's not for next week. It's for me in 10 years. Genuinely.
Gotcha.
So all the connections I make now, like all the traveling I'm doing now, everything I'm learning now, all the language I'm learning now, all the skills, everything is not for me now. It's for me in a decade.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, people take a gap year and they like try to learn shit, like travel and experience.
Yeah.
I'm taking a gap decade.
Right on.
So when I'm 27, I could be like, all right, I got 2 million followers here. This is where I can put my leverage. I know XYZ in Sweden. I've had this experience. I know how the underwear business works in Switzerland. I reached out to a friend of mine in Sweden. I'm going to be visiting him. He's a fashion model, and I'm going to be staying with him for 6 months and just learning the fashion industry of Sweden.
Why not? That's awesome.
So yeah, my next immediate goal is van life, but that goal in itself is so that I can go to certain cities, certain areas, live and work for someone, or
yeah, less overhead, obviously.
Or whatever.
You just hop in there and just drive.
Exactly.
So what do you have steps in place to get to that van life goal?
Yep.
What do you do? I mean, I don't know what your finances are, what your work is, all that kind of shit.
As of right
it's not
now,
cheap.
I'm gonna be my finances. Like if I really wanted to, I could buy it right now.
Yeah, but you don't do that. You don't cut into your capital like that.
Way too cheap for that.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I learned that too late in life. God damn it.
Dude, my first business I sold, I got a $45,000 check and I blew it in 6
Yeah,
months.
that's when I met you. You told me that shit. He's like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "I'm into fucking social media marketing, bro." You're like, "What?" I don't know how that conversation happened, but then I was like, "What's your shit, bro? Let me follow your shit," because like I wanted to know.
I blew that in 6 months.
Yeah, of course.
And
But see, you didn't blow it on strippers.
No, it didn't.
See, you're good.
I'm so nice. You know, I blew it on. I was okay. I don't like saying this for the record. Don't get me wrong. A lot of it was blown on shoes, rollies, and hoodies. All right. There was a huge portion of that. There's plenty of pictures of me with my King hoodie and my rollie and nice shoes and shit like that. My Yeezys. Sold all of that, by the way. And AirPods. But the thing that really hit me is I'd go to IHOP at like 2 a.m. in the morning, see a family eating, and go, I want to pick up that check. I want to do that. Or I want to bring my brother and my sister out to eat. And that's when a lot of fake people started coming around because I was taking my friends out to eat.
Yeah.
And like genuine friends, you know. And that's when I was making no money at the time, but I was also spending it like a motherfucker. I buy Yeezys in the morning and then take my friends out to eat at night.
And you probably thought you were going to come into your next 40,000.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, 45K, I could build a new business in the next 6 months.
Yep.
And then I did.
Yeah.
But it was Shopify, totally different business, totally different standpoint.
So the first one was what?
Social media.
Social media.
I sold Quick Media Management.
Okay.
Which was a huge mistake because it cost me an arm and a leg to buy the name back. But I sold it and then I bought the name back a year later. But during that year, I had built a Shopify store called Following Our Visions, or Live.
Okay.
And we sold travel stuff, and I sold that company. And when I sold that and I got the check for that, I was like, fuck this, fuck spending, fuck everything. I'm like, I spend every single day $15 a day is my budget.
That's
and
good.
Most of that goes on food and like, you know, if I really need it, like a Metro pass for this week for Los Angeles.
Yeah, tap card.
Dude,
I
was in New York. Like, it's a New York daily Metro pass. I think was like $24 a day.
Yeah,
like $25 here for a week.
25 here.
25.
Oh yeah. For the tap card it is. Yeah. You can get, once you start getting into the other trains that are like the Metro Links. Or Metro Rail, Metro Link.
I know all of it. I went to Malibu by the bus.
Yeah.
Like I know the metro system here, like the back of my hand.
Hell yeah.
Like I'm just that cheap.
I had to go to Anaheim the other day. I'm like, I'm not gonna sit in morning traffic on the 405. Like I'm just gonna hop on this damn. Or Irvine rather. I'm like, I'm gonna hop on this damn train. And I did. I did the Danzig show, like a heavy metal show out there, and I was like, all right, and came home. It was sick. But like the train's amazing. They got Wi-Fi on it. Not that I need it because I got my AT&T grandfather plan. It cost me $300 a month.
Nah, fuck that. I'm so cheap that my plan right now, I use WhatsApp to keep my text messages, but I buy cards. Like I buy chips.
You buy the chips?
I buy chips. Yeah, because I mean I don't know when I'm going to be outside the country.
But
so
what about
month by month and then be in Japan next month and be like,
let me cut a light on here. Isn't the fucking, god damn it?
What?
I spent, so I got it. That doesn't help at all. Kind of. Oh, it flickered. Oh, there we go. Whatever. It's for the audio anyway. So what do you for streaming then? Like if you're using, or you just use a lot of Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi?
It depends. Like I'll usually buy the unlimited, unlimited data package.
And that's on the chips?
Yeah, on the chips.
Oh.
I'll spend the extra money. I usually do a Verizon when I'm in the States because it's the best wherever you go.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I don't know where I'm going to be next week.
Right.
Like I don't.
No, yeah, it's just always changing. I hear that.
Yeah, so like I'll do a Verizon chip when I'm here, and then when I leave the States, it depends what. Like I'll do my research before I get there.
Yeah. That's what I was when I was in Colombia. I spent some time down there. I was just like, to pay for my phone to have an international plan on it was way too expensive. I just went down there and got a chip card. And it was like, plug it in my phone, I'm good to go.
Thailand, dude, like, oh my goodness. The chip plans there are like $5.
Really?
You know? And they're like, oh my, like.
My buddy, he always goes there for it's like slow season for concerts in LA, like or now. So he goes January to March. I was supposed to go to Japan.
He goes to January to March.
Yeah,
it's like the burning season in Thailand. That's when you're not supposed to.
That's when you're not supposed to go. But he goes there. It's super
savage,
super cheap. Yeah, and there's a lot. Surprisingly, there's a lot of cool tourists that like don't give a fuck about that shit and still end up there. And he was telling me about the hostels. Say like don't fuck on the pool table, don't fucking like dude, they're just like all these crazy tourists out there just fucking. I'm like, damn, I need to get over to Thailand.
I'm going. I don't know when I'm gonna go, but I have me and Jason.
Yeah,
we're gonna take a vacation out there for a little bit, and you've gotta come.
I was telling you about Japan.
There, bro.
We were trying to get to Japan, and we got so damn busy. And we are working on as. Even aside from like just our creative stuff that we're doing, like the podcast is for fun. We're not looking to monetize this. We're just having a good time with it. His photography.
Yeah.
He's got something bigger, but we just got slammed with LA work, and it was just like, you know, we're just trying to figure out when to go. So we still want to plan that Japan trip. That's still on the board. But we just got to move the dates around a little bit. But when are you going to Thailand?
Keep me posted.
I will, dude. I'll let you know.
I mean, now that you said that about the whole burning season thing, I might just go during the burning season. I wanted to go.
Wow.
I don't know. I might go for a month in January or 2 weeks in January, or I might go for like 2 months, 3 months during the burning season.
That's what my boy does. He goes for 3 months, and he flies back in, and then wears Coachella and Stagecoach. Then he went on Warped Tour right after that. This kid's a fucking animal.
Dude.
He's a Floridian, too. So
that's some insane shit, though. I don't know. I'm not a big concert guy. I'm like, my mind's always working. So, like, movies, I can't do.
Yeah. You're a conference guy.
Yeah,
right?
I want to be moving. Like, I don't know. If I'm at a concert, I just feel like I'm wasting money standing in the same spot. Unless I'm working, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm marketing for the concert all day long.
Yeah, then you're working for sure.
Oh,
you're fucking, dude. Oh, it's so annoying. Sometimes and that's the thing, too, that the concert industry, people don't understand. It's its own world. Like, have you ever thought about who feeds all these people that go to Coachella? Like the tour managers, the production managers, all the roadies, all the sound guys, light guys. Like, there's an industry. There's like a whole subculture restaurant industry within the industry of this. You know what I mean? Like ticket sales. Sure, you have Ticketmaster or whatever. Great, but what do you do when 100,000 people walk up with tickets to scan them? Like, there's a culture in that. You know what I mean? There's so many different goods and products and services that are within. Like out here, a big thing is there's rental car services that rent cars to Uber drivers, and then they deck it out compared to the season. There's like right now it's like NBA stuff. But the guy was telling me about it, and now there's a company out here that puts vending machines in Ubers. Have you seen this yet?
No.
There's fucking dude. They got Fiji, Sour Patch Kids.
Who thought of this idea?
Right? I'm like that. Instead of complaining about Uber take over, it's like, no, dude. Think about what's Uber's missing. You know what I mean? And is it blunt wraps? And I don't know. But like, there's guys out there that are making money off other people's businesses.
I was not used to that when I came out to California. Speaking of blunt wraps. Because like when I came out here, and one of the first things I smelled was full of fresh, real weed. Because in Florida, you get that shit on the street, or you smell it in the street. It's not like, you know, it's street weed.
It's a bunch of spliffs. It's like tobacco weed, like just
Dude, over here, you guys don't fuck around with your.
The
marijuana.
weed is so stupid out here. It's like you can't go anywhere without walking by and getting like Venice. It just smells like weed 24/7. Like, I'm not knocking it, but I'm like, all right, man, I get it. It's legal here, but fuck, go inside or something. And I hate to sound
there's like smoking spots on the Santa Monica Pier and stuff.
Yeah, no,
you can't just like smoke in the oven.
And then the vaporizers. Well, my friend Hope, she's a marketer out of Orlando. I met her in the club scene. She lives in Tampa doing shows for a while. She's out here working for MedMen now. And MedMen is like a dispensary. It's like the Louis Vuitton of dispensaries. You walk in there, you get this red crazy bag. Like most of them hand you like a medical bag that says
is this
don't
like
open.
A luxury weed kind of?
Yeah. I wish I had a fucking bag sitting here right now.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't have one. But they give you like this dope ass sealed airtight bag that you unzip when you get home. Most places they give you like a top with weed in it.
I found a shitload of those in the metro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're all over the metro. And then like a little white bag that says like don't open till you get home. These people are like a red bag with a bow on it, like bright as fuck. Like, yo, we're MedMen and we sell weed. Like, that's the shit. Like, they're all about that life, which is amazing. And they actually just got, from what she was telling me on her post, or maybe I saw it on the news, they actually got they took a bunch of retail space in Miami and Florida already to ramp up and get everything ready for when the state goes legal, which is going to go legal 100%. Well, I don't know how long, but they're taking over. And I guess like even now with the CBD oils being legal, or is it
Has she bought anything in Key West yet?
I think she might have been looking from Key West to Tallahassee, man. They're covering all of it. Dude, MedMen is fucking insane. Like,
Key West is some next level, like
for weed.
Oh yeah,
dude, Key West is insane though.
They already have like ready set dispensaries that are selling like CBDs and products like that. Like ready.
Well, that's a tourist attraction
all over Key West.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Key West is like, if you think about Key West, it's kind of like Venice. It's kind of like trashy but fun, but like, you know what I'm saying?
My friend said that Key West is a part of California that floated off to Florida.
That's good. That's good. I look at it like, you ever go to Daytona Beach? Like Daytona Beach.
I mean, I haven't like partied in it.
Yeah, of course not. When I was a kid, it was like Urban Bike Week in Daytona, and it was just fights and brawls, and it's just kind of like just trash. It's not like Delray Beach. You know what I mean? So it's like Delray Beach. It's like Santa Monica's like Delray, and then Venice is kind of like Daytona, where it's kind of got that.
Though, because like I said, I don't think I said this on the podcast, but Los Angeles is a place where everything is really, really nice and really, really sketchy at the same time.
Yeah, but is it that nice?
To walk to the pier of Santa Monica, you got to walk past a shitload of tweakers.
Yeah.
And then you get there and it's like a beautiful little pier.
Yeah, but it's still like,
I
could use a paint job here and there.
I've been to dirtier places, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, you're from Florida. Florida.
You're not wrong.
There's some fucking dirt in Florida, especially anything west of I-95. It's just like, do I want to be over here? Unless it's, I guess, Wellington. It's the only city, but yeah, I don't know. So we have to circle this thing around somehow.
I don't even remember what we were talking about.
I know. Normally it's like, I'm talking to people on here that like we don't have much in common, like birthplace and city grow up in, and you know what I'm saying. So this has been fun though, just to talk about like what growing up in Palm Beach County is kind of like for two guys that are kind of similar, entrepreneurial based people coming from the same place, really.
What do you think of the kids in Jupiter and Palm Beach County that are spoon fed?
I mean, the same thing I think about kids that are spoon fed kind of everywhere. That they
is it the
they're
same
in a bubble
everywhere?
though, man. They're in a bubble.
Is it the same? Because there's nothing but spoon fed kids in Jupiter and Palm Beach. Like to find another kid that's kind of like, I don't know, like there's whole sports that are taken up like cheerleading or lacrosse and volleyball. Most sports actually are just a bunch of spoon fed kids because their parents pay for it.
Yeah.
You know? And like, what do you think of in South Florida in particular, that bubble of the spoon-fed kids?
I mean, it's hard to knock because I got a lot of friends that were the spoon-fed kids, right? And then,
well, what are they now? Because everyone watching this, most kids watching this,
what are they
from
now?
Jupiter High School,
oh man,
are the spoon-fed kids that are still in high school.
Yeah.
So what are those kids? Wait, what did they?
Don't peak in high school. If I had to give a tip.
Yeah.
But a lot of those kids. I mean, I don't know. I know kids out there with degrees that are still working at Starbucks in their 30s. You know what I mean? I also know kids that are still living off their parents in their 30s. I think that, yeah, your following is definitely a lot younger than mine. I guess a lot of people take for granted if they have successful parents or they come from some sort of wealth, right? I was in a middle class family. My parents were divorced. I went through it all, right? Well, just more than a lot of the kids in Jupiter or whatnot. But I think that the most important thing that the spoon-fed kids kind of missed is they have more resources than the average person, right? If you're a spoon-fed kid, you have more resources, whether your parents are in business or because in order to be spoon-fed, there had to have been a hustler somewhere in the line to get that wealth for your family.
Yeah, 100%. They have the networking and the other resources.
But they're not taking advantage of like an intelligent father or mother. They're kind of just like using it to get away with fucking just fuckery.
Yeah, because one big common theme that I see, and not in all spoon-fed kids, because I've met some kids that have been spoon-fed.
Yeah.
Like I have a really, really good friend. His dad owns a Ferrari dealership. Met him when he was driving a Ferrari, and I was just like, same thing with you. I was like, yo, you obviously do some crazy shit.
His dad
What
owns
do
a
you do?
Ferrari dealership
Yeah,
in Florida.
in Florida. Yeah.
John Tamarian.
No,
That's my buddy. He owns like every Ferrari in Florida. Okay.
I mean, maybe
Different
I don't
people.
know.
No. I only ask because he's like he does Supercar Weekend.
My friend's name is Jake or Jack,
Okay.
and he's still in high school.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
Different person then.
Super nice guy. Obviously, comes from money, but super nice guy, super humble guy, starting his own business, hustler as hell. Like, not all spoon-fed kids fall into the same category, but at the same time, for the majority, I've met a shitload of kids that because they've been spoon-fed their whole life and now they're getting kicked in the real world and now they're trying to start their own business, they're trying to start their own like videography business or photography business or whatever it may be. They don't know what it is to grind, and they don't know what it is to eat the dirt, and they don't know what it is to beat someone that's like me or you that are coming up and we're hungry and we're ready and we're grinding.
Oh,
for it.
100%. We've been through the shit already.
Yeah.
We're ready
and
to
they're
succeed.
just not used to.
Yeah. Or I look at it, a lot of the times, like for instance, I had like a decent boat when I was like 21, 22, and I'd pull up to the kid who has his dad's Contender, 60-footer, 40-footer. And then like, they didn't have, one kid was like, you can't park your boat next to mine, bro. I'm like, all right, whatever. 2 months later, I'm on a 60-foot yacht bringing up like 35 playmates. And they're like, oh, can we dock up next to you? I'm like, fuck you. No, you can't. But I think that a lot of these kids, like, yeah, but dude, man, that your parents' money is only cool till you're like 22, maybe graduating, or, until college. That'll get you there. But then after that, after people stop telling you what to do and you have to kind of figure it out for yourself, having a beer gut and your dad's cool boat that you're not allowed to drive now because you're on your third DUI by the time you graduate college, it's not cool. And a lot of those kids that I see, they're out at Peanut Island on the weekends or the sandbar getting all fucked up. They're banging all the chicks. They're doing all the things. Well, a handful of them are gonna get people pregnant or pass around STDs at a young age, or
not just that though, because while you guys are out there, and this is for all the Jupiter kids that are going to be listening to this and seeing this, because I mean, my following, I bash Jupe, like the classic Jupe kids so much that my followings are grinders, hustlers, people that aren't like given boats and that kind of deal.
Right.
So for all the kids that are out there that are on boats, flinging their parents' money around, because I've seen videos of kids standing on their parents' boats, throwing money off the fucking table, and fucking other boat hoes. While you're doing that, we're out here grinding, we're out here hustling, and the next thing you know, I'm in Los Angeles and you're still in Jupiter.
Yeah, and I live here. You're visiting. You're going to be here soon enough, though. I got a feeling about it.
I'll live here.
You know what's really funny, too, is...
I came here looking for real estate.
Yeah,
I met with a real estate agent to find out like places to rent, that kind of deal.
Very cool.
So that's like why I was here.
Eye-opening what you're finding, and this market out here is insane.
It's so different from Florida,
bro.
And it has
like I
such
said,
a great pattern to it as well.
For what I pay here, I could be in a 5-bedroom in Egret, like you know what I mean, or a steeplechase. It's insane.
But you live in like a really like nicer area.
Yeah. So this is considered like East Santa Monica. We're right down from Santa Monica College down the street. I got a Trader Joe's, a Whole Foods right there. It's not bad, but the price gap between this and something like 2 miles east of here is just insane. But then again, 2 miles east of here, you got a bunch of people in tents that are like, I don't know. This is a decent area. I think that back to the high school thing though.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is what I've noticed now that I'm 32, so I'm like twice your age almost.
Yeah.
Is that the chicks that were hot and cool in high school? Like a lot of my friends that are the hot chicks are cool. Don't get me wrong, they're so cool. They're married, they have kids, whatever. But what I think that for men, it's not. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But for women that kind of use their looks to get through life, I'm approaching the age now where women are starting to become more less attractive, and I'm seeing these girls that are like the mean girls of life that have gotten to 32 to 35 years old in life, using their looks and everything else. Now starting to deteriorate, and now these 18 to 22-year-old hotties are coming through, taking away their thunder, and they are getting bitter, and they have nothing. So, I like the when you say what do you have to offer other than looks and sex? You know, as a woman, what are you offering? And a lot of chicks they're getting away with it. They're living a rock star lifestyle.
There's still a lot of girls that are out there that aren't using their hot bodies and like on Instagram or whatever, but are fucking killing it in the marketing game and really pushing it, like, you know.
Oh, I know, man. Trust me. And I don't want to market to any 18-year-old chicks, whatever, but I know girls in the private Snapchat space and Cam Soda space. Like I said, I've been in that for a long time. They are making serious coin.
Yeah.
Serious coin, like 6 figures a quarter of serious coin.
Yeah.
And they're doing nothing but using their God-given beautiful, you know what I mean? They're like, and you know what's funny is I have a lot of friends that are strippers, right? This is funny because when you're a DJ, the female version of that is kind of a stripper.
I mean, yeah, the first venue I saw you be playing at was West Palm. Fuck, man, I can't. It's the most popular strip club by Clematis.
Monroe's?
No.
Monroe's, Rachel's.
No, not Rachel's. Fuck. Pawn Shop.
Oh, Pawn Shop. Oh, that's not a strip club though. Yeah.
No, I've never been.
No. That's a dance club. No. The strip club is Monroe's. Yeah, but dude, that's the thing. I literally held down Palm Beach as the DJ shit. It was off the hookah. Before that
I was there.
For off the hookah.
I was just there. Yeah.
But it's just once you realize it's such a small fucking city and it doesn't matter because the clubs there hold like 700 people. I got so bored, man.
Yeah.
I was doing so many nights. I'm like, can someone please come along with the bigger following, better music, better vibes, and I'm not. Listen, it's not an ego thing. I just know why I got into music, and it was because the nerdiness of it, the turntables, the taking a control vinyl that sends a signal through this analog sort of just like non-digital platform and bringing it into the world of the Serato and the computer. I love that. I love the music. I listen to, like, on my daily basis, bro, it's either Otis Day, Sam Cooke, Bob Marley, Jimi Hendrix, but then I'm listening to Post Malone and some trap shit on my Florida guys. You know what I mean? So I love music and being paid to play music that I like to a dance floor that it's kind of open to hear some new things as long as you give them what they want a little bit. They're willing to, you know, to influence it. And DJs used to influence new music. Like that's what it was, you know? Like they were not listening to the radio anymore, and Wild 95.5 was Star 95.5 when I was a kid. They're not listening to that anymore. They're streaming shit on SoundCloud or YouTube or whatever. So it was really fun to get out into the club scene. Like people, when you drop a dubstep song, the people who are out there are like, fuck yeah, bro. You know what I mean? They're still my fucking fans that I don't even want to call my fans. They're my friends more than anything. You know, they stuck around through all of it. But I played it like, yeah, cool spots, bro. And people were starting to look at me like, oh, look at this fucking guy. You know, he's got some local celebrity. I never looked at myself as a local fucking celebrity ever, bro. Ever. I know everybody, but I've known everybody all the time. I got jumped at a fucking high school party once, right, by some jocks. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to fucking Publix and call my boys that work in stock because they're all convicts that need to have a job on paper for their probation officer purposes. So I'm going to go back to that high school party and show them what the fuck is up. I grabbed my boy Dale.
Oh my god.
We went to Riviera. We went to Riviera Beach. I got 5 of his homeboys in my fucking car, rolled back to this fucking party, and better believe that motherfucker was kissing my foot, begging for me to accept his apology. I'm like, all right, bitch. Never got fucked with again. Like, Opie knows the jocks. Opie knows the guys in the hood in Riviera. Like, I know gang. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, I am
nice to everyone.
That's what it is. That's what it is, man. That is what it is. And if you're an asshole who's a spoon-fed motherfucker who think that's going to get you somewhere in life, it's not. Because even only a handful of the spoon-fed little fuckers, that wealth ends, and your dad's gonna get real sick of your ass. You know what I mean? Like, okay, it's cute when you're 17, 18, your dad's like, oh yeah, he's living vicariously through you. You get to use his boat. He gets to see the pictures of the little booties and shit. That's not cool when you're 30, bro. I don't know guys that are still doing that in their 30s. Literally, man.
Yeah. I was over at a golf course place for a while, and I think the saddest thing I ever saw was a 40-year-old man got blacked out drunk on a golf course and like took his pants off and was running through the sprinklers. And I was like, yo, you're fucking. I'm 17. I think that's immature,
dude.
You piece of shit.
Well, you're different, man. You're a little different.
I mean, he's 40.
I get it.
At some point, that just straight up becomes creepy and immature.
That's why I stopped being a DJ because I really want. I moved out here also partially to really focus on production and producing music. Because like the guys that I look up to are like guys like Skrillex, that they make their own music, they throw their own party, they play the music they made at their own party, they have their own followings, they're doing what they do.
I got you.
Diplo the same way. I want to produce music, and I look at myself and I'm like, I'm gonna wake up one day and be a 40-year-old. Welcome to Diamonds, Candace Mainstay. I don't want to be a strip club DJ, and that's what all DJs that don't make it end up being.
So are you as a producer, are you trying to get rappers to rap to your music? Or
no, man. I really want to. So what I'm vibing right now is like lo-fi. I just I have a lot of ideas in my head. Like I beatbox a little bit, and I want to be able to. So for production, it's more of. It's not. There's no real set goal in mind other than and then to make the sounds that are in my head right now. I got like 50 songs in my head right now that I want to make, but I don't know how to take what's in here and put it in the computer and actually make it. Like I'm talking about from scratch.
Yeah.
I can go online and grab loops and shit and layer them like you would in Photoshop, an image. I can make that look good and sound good. But as far as like really playing those keys, writing that melody, writing that bass line, I want to learn all that shit. And the problem is the schools out here, the music schools, are you have to take all as a whole course. And it's really, YouTube's a little tougher to learn, to listen to instruction on music in a DAW, which is a digital audio workplace.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're talking to you. Like imagine you trying to explain how to set up Facebook ads for the first time to someone. And you're just like, okay, you click here, and they're like, dude, I don't know where here is to click. Does that make sense?
Yeah, this is like trying to like learn Premiere for the first time.
Right. Are you doing that currently now?
Learning Premiere?
Yeah.
I know every part of Premiere.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But so when you say, okay, go over here to your toolbar, they're like, I don't even see that window. And you're like, oh shit. First off, let's go back to square one. Set your layout the same way my layout is. So when I do things, you know exactly where they are. But you know what I mean? Different instructors do different things. How do you even
set up the layout?
Right.
I get that. When I was learning Premiere, like I was like, this is the most complicated shit I have ever seen in my life. You know?
No. But then once you get Premiere, you can pretty much use any Adobe software. Like,
yeah, but once you get used to it, you're doing shit that you cannot do on any other platform.
For me, the keyboard shortcuts is the biggest thing. Like, what is it?
I have a picture of it
to
on
cut
my phone.
E and W. Is that how to cut? I think that's in Premiere, right? That's to cut and move automatically. When I first got Premiere, I was like cutting it and then moving that clip over to like align them. Now I'm just like, well, at least I was. I haven't edited in a video in a while,
Yeah,
but
me too. But
my dad's been on YouTube like crazy right now. He's like 65, retired, and he's like got a channel. I love it, man. My dad is this shit. I'm so happy. I'm so lucky that we and him have so much in contact. We talk about drones, we talk about microphones, we talk about all this shit that we're doing right now, and it's amazing that I have someone like that who's just like a fucking surfer that raised some awesome kids. And
when my dad gets sick of being poor, I can see him. I love you, Dad. But when
gets sick of being poor, is that what you said?
When my dad gets sick of being in the same circumstance that it is, he's got some really good ideas and a really, really good drive. And I can definitely see my parents like doing some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like my mom's a real estate agent, but she really, really likes doing event planning more than she likes being a real estate agent.
Okay.
So as soon as my parents were like, let's become an event planner, or my dad's got like 1,000,010 YouTube ideas.
Yeah.
Let me become the YouTube dad and just speak about my experience of being a father.
Dude.
Like that's speak about your experience of being a father. Like that's some next level. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And my thing is, my age group doesn't go on YouTube. I go, listen, man, there's grandparents out there that are watching their grandchildren, and they're used to watching these like amazingly interesting, whatever those are, or whatever those videos are on YouTube that the kids are watching, like toddlers and shit, like 2 to 5 years old. I'm like, the grandparents are watching those videos. What I'm trying to get at is, if there's a 2-year-old video, right? There's a bunch of them. Like my little nephew's watching them now. And guess who's watching them sitting in the room with him? My dad, who's also babysitting him 4 days a week. So when you're placing an ad, like if you look at Shrek has a lot of adult humor in it. The kids that Shrek was marketed to don't understand. SpongeBob the same way. So you're marketing it to the parents that are sitting there with the kids as well to make it enjoyable for everybody. So if you can find a way to tap into that market as a father and say, okay, you're retired, you're watching your grandchildren or whatever it is, there's a market there. There's money to be made there, and you don't need 1 million followers. You need 1,000, as you just said.
Yeah.
You know, I was able to make it 10 years in DJing without a real job. I love the real job shit. They go, oh, you go from one fake job to another. I'm like,
my fake jobs make more money than your real job.
Yeah, so. Dude, you got a fake degree. I can print that out. And by the way, not one employer that's ever hired me has ever fucking called my college and said, hey, does he have a degree here?
Yeah, I've been asked if I had
It's a piece of paper. That's what I love about my buddy's a coder. He was doing shit. He basically learned how to code on YouTube, and then he went to like a job fair maybe, and they go, okay, do this, and he goes, okay, you know how to do what we need you to do. You're hired. They don't give a fuck about a diploma. They don't care if you learned about.
No, as a business owner, why the fuck would I hire someone with a diploma?
Can you do the job?
My favorite is when I was looking for my first business. I had hired out 6 different employees, and when I was looking for the employees and I was going through like, you know, what can you do? I had a shitload of people apply with social media marketing degrees. What the fuck about your social media? I asked them like, what is this? What is this? And yeah, that's great. You know all this shit from 2005. Great, good for you. But that's not how the world is today.
No.
And you know what? Like shit can come out tomorrow. You know, if Instagram's coming out with the new update coming November 28th.
I saw that. You posted about that?
November 28th. Instagram's coming out with the new update. It's going to show a lot of influencers, a lot of data that they're not going to like being shown. And that's going to change the influencer marketing space like that. Now imagine if you were taught about how to market it today and then literally 20 days later or whatever, it comes out and then your entire marketing just changed.
So there was Facebook Facebook pages that were like, oh, I got 20,000 likes. And then I'd go in there. Once Facebook allowed you to, I'd click on, okay, let's see, 20,000 likes, click on it. Biggest city was like Seoul, Korea. I'm like, oh. And I started screenshotting it and I stored all that stuff for like the last 5-10 years. And I'm like, I can't wait to just fucking throw them all under the bus at one time. But I don't care at this point. I'm on my own thing. I'm not trying to be a DJ anymore. I know where I'm at in life.
I care because I use influencers. You know, you can't fuck me anymore just because you have an account and now you're trying to sell out advertisements.
Right.
You know, now I can like see if you have people. And the thing on top of that is there's so many entrepreneurs out there that my favorite, this was a really cool thing, New York, right? New York was a planned trip for a bunch of entrepreneurs, right? That were my friends, right? And I was like, yo, let's all get together and just hit New York and get some business in New York. We all own social media marketing agencies. Let's do some business in New York. Everyone was down until it came down to buying the tickets. Yeah. I bought the tickets the next day because I got the money. I'm going to be able to. They're like, dude, I don't know about that. I'm like, do you know about this or do you just not have the money for a fucking ticket?
Yeah. And you own a business.
And you have 45,000 followers and now you're giving information online and you do some speeches. And you're trying to market your own course, but you don't have the money for your social media marketing agency?
No, they're rocking them Yeezys though.
No. One of them was dead ass like, nah, dude, I can't. To be honest, I gotta babysit that week. I was like,
gotta babysit.
I was like,
if you're out here hustling, bro, babysitting is not the way. I mean, don't pass up New York for babysitting unless you don't have the money.
I was like, you have 45,000 followers on a fake life. And they're fake followers. You're running an engagement group. I'm not retarded, I can tell. And as soon as that advertisement, as soon as that update comes out, you are fucked.
Yeah.
All your friends are going to be able to see it.
I can't wait.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful.
Let's start dropping people. I'm going to start just making fun of everybody. That could be a good channel. The shit talking.
50 Cent.
50 Cent?
That's all he does.
Yeah.
It is.
No, that is true. God, 50 is amazing. Well, we're losing light here, man, and I'm fucking starving. But let's try to. What are you doing tomorrow?
Nothing. Let's have a bomb day.
Do you want to do something tomorrow?
Crazy shit tomorrow. Let's do my last day in Los Angeles for God knows how long.
Let's get it tomorrow then.
Let's do some crazy shit.
Maybe take this on the road somewhere. Anyways, Dom, thanks for swinging by. That's at not Dominic Quick. He's out here on the end of his. Is this within the 7 days or no?
This was the last city.
The last city, the 7 days.
It ended in Los Angeles.
Cool. I will edit this stuff for you and bang it out. But until then, chicken soup for the soulless. I'm your boy Opie, Dominic Quick. Peace.